your volume?
I did.
You clicked mute on the one video. On the one video.
All of them.
Why not just lower your volume completely so that nothing
I'm saying
else
it's
jumps?
lowered because already this thing is playing. Like that, it's lowered.
Okay.
So I have my phone, man. So
It's fine, Baba. Yazini, if we are jumpisa, it's gonna be you and your fucking life, boy. So
are they gonna make this guy the DA? Oh, they didn't make him.
Congrats. Episode 100 of the Penuel show.
Yeah.
So this is gonna be no, let me speak to the people. Guys, I just want to say thank you so much, man, for the support that you guys have given us over the past 2 years with the Penuel show. I could have never imagined that we would be where we are right now. It's been an interesting journey. We've achieved a lot. We've influenced a lot of minds. We've met some interesting people and introduced you guys to a lot of interesting people. And just from my side, I want to thank the team. Deb's, of course, my partner, my business partner. Hey,
Sizwe.
Tebogo Keebine, Tribal Media House, Sizwe Dube, Khumutso Morube, Buitumelo Mutsepedi. What's Yenzi's surname?
Ntsele.
And we Yenzi Ntsele.
Is Ntsele on Sele? Is N-S-E-L-E.
Ntsele.
What?
It's meant to have like a T, no?
No.
Ntsele.
That surname doesn't sound Zulu, hey?
It's like Shabalala and Chabalala.
I think it should have a T. Like Mzansi. I think Mzansi should have a T. Anyways, it's not important. So thank you very much for the team, first and foremost. Thank you to Tribal Media House for allowing me to squat for as long as I've been squatting here. Thank you to all of you guys, man. The people that watch our content, the people that share our content, the guests, the guests, of course, have been absolutely amazing. And myself and Utebs are going to go through we're going to go through a list and maybe pick out some of the episodes that I think kind of stood out. But from my side, man, thank you to the whole team. And thank you to you guys. Without you, we don't have a show. We're over 160,000 subscribers, which is pretty awesome. But it also encourages me to say we need to push for more. Not because we're chasing numbers, but it just means we have a bigger audience. We can influence more, change more lives with the education that we push. That's what's up. Debs, I don't know if you want to speak to camera.
I want to ask, when you say you didn't think it would get you, are you genuinely shocked or you're just saying that?
Congrats on 100. This is the 100th episode.
Yes.
Our first episode was on the 1st of August 2022 with Pensin, the guinea pig. So shout out to Pensin for being my first guest, man. We did 77,000, well, we're on 77,000 views. But from the get, Ntwana Biskichima. I beg from the get.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mandisa.
Huh?
Get Mandisa as well.
Oh.
Being one of the first few guests.
Sure.
That was power as well.
Okay, I'm going to go with oldest. You're asking me if I thought we'd be here.
Yes. Like I want to know
where's here? Where's here?
100 eps, 163 within the
100 episodes, definitely we'd be here.
Okay.
So we're definitely going to get to 100. And you and I, and the way we work, I think, to be honest, I'll feel better when we're on our 1000th episode. Because then I'll feel like Saspana.
Yeah.
But part of our problem is capacity and the fact that we drop once a week.
Yeah.
So that's swag. Because that's literally 2 years. Because a year is 52 weeks. 100 episodes show. What else? Subscribers.
Yeah, subscribers.
Yeah, I think I'm shocked. I think 50,000 subscribers is a good number. 2 years, once a week, 4 episodes a month. No, 50,000 is a good number. So getting to 100K, I think, is a bonus. Getting over 150K is a bonus. And I'll tell you this. If we were chasing numbers, the type of content I'd be doing, the type of guests I'd be bringing would probably be at 300,000 if we were chasing numbers. Because I would have made sure that I bring trending celebs.
Yeah.
You know, people like what Dr. Matthews at the time, someone who's been accused of something at the time, and we were going to zero in on the scandal. It's like, say, so you were arrested for stealing 1.2 million, and everyone's watching to hear that scoop.
Yeah.
And then try and interrogate to find angles. So trending guests, trending topics,
Would you be here via impact that we have? If we do have any impact,
Would I?
would we get here? Do you think would have been here in terms of impact?
According to what I forecasted? No. I still don't even know our impact, but it scares me when some of our guests speak about some of the people that contacted them with our episodes, because then I thought I had an idea, but I don't. So you've got a situation where some of the podcasts in the country do huge numbers. When you look at the people that are watching, it's youth. It's young kids, high school, tertiary, who are into trending news, music, gossip. And then you'll find an episode of ours that'll do 40,000 views. And then the guest will tell me about certain influential business people, politicians, locally and abroad. When guests tell you, some of my friends in Canada were telling me this. I was speaking to some of the leadership on the African continent, and they said this. You're like, okay. And then look, TikTok is scary because YouTube is one thing. They watch the whole thing. But on TikTok, the reach that it gets. Yeah. Because on TikTok, it's the platform and the views. But then people download videos on TikTok and then they share them in WhatsApp groups on Facebook and so it becomes a monster. But what's made me sad is the money we're making. So from there I'm disappointed because I thought we'd be making way more money. And it's sad that YouTube doesn't pay us as well as I think we should. And I'm not blaming YouTube. It's just the nature of the beast and ads and their rev share. I'll take some blame because I know we've had sponsors knock on doors. Yeah. And I've been the one to push back and say, no, I don't want sponsors. I watch Chris Williamson, I watch Stephen Bartlett in the middle of an episode. Hi guys, to run a channel like this, isn't it? And I'm like, yes, he just ruined my fucking experience. So I don't want that. And when we start taking sponsorships and ads, we really need to do it different. Because if it's ruining my viewing pleasure, I can imagine for the next person. Yeah. But we need to make money because we do make an impact. And the one thing I've learned about money is money is spiritual. And if you are creating value in the world, you need to also extract value. Yeah. Not because you're greedy or uthanda imali, but when you're creating value, extracting value means you can create more value. It's like if you're creating jobs, price right so you can make more money and create more jobs. So, on your side, did you think we'd be here? When you were like, oh, come on, Penzo. These are small things.
Man, the only thing that I knew would be here on was our quality. That's the only.
You knew the quality would be at this level?
Yeah, no, quality, yeah. Quality, I'm confident. The other ones, nah.
Of all the work you've done in the past, where would you rank this in terms of quality? Is it there? Tribal Media House is just at this level.
It's in the maybe top 4. Yeah, it's there. It's definitely up there, especially at a consistent level. Remember the other stuff that we do. Sure. It's once off, man. You prep for an ad for a week, you shoot next week, it's done. This is maintaining a level of quality for every week, every time you shoot it.
Sure.
Yeah. So it's definitely up there. The other ones, it's easy to prep that quality, man. But obviously, we make sure that whatever we touch has a certain look.
Are you happy?
Yeah.
Do you think you could bump it up?
No, come on. You must see our next set. We're speaking Sizwe doesn't want to change our set. You see that thing I wanted us to do, your previous convo that we just shot now.
Okay.
I'm telling you, we're gonna do something. But then we're gonna go Lapa Pezul. You will see.
You Lapa Pezul?
No.
People don't know what you're talking about.
No,
Lapa Pezul,
we have a young studio up there. Yeah.
A young studio up where?
Upstairs somewhere. You wanna see? You wanna see something?
Since we have this opportunity, I just want to say congrats, man, on your work.
Sure.
I know you and I are not the type of guys to receive compliments, but it's important to take stock at times. Yeah. Not for you, for the work. So when I compliment, maybe don't take it personal, but it's the work. What you've done with Tribal, man, over the 14 years it's been in existence, from Melville to here, meeting Amachitosi, Zokhomutso, OQ, your ability to retain staff, actually quite unique, I think, from business. Your ability to empower and upskill a lot of talent. You've worked with a lot of different people, which I think is pretty dope, man. And being in your space and watching just what the Penuel show and what Tribal Media House has become in 2 years. I don't know if it should make me nervous. Maybe it should. Because I know we need to get to a point where we start thinking crazy. Can we do something phenomenal where like the whole world is like, hey? Because I think I'm slowly starting to become a believer. I'm very pragmatic and prudent. And I wait for something to go crazy to be like, hey, I think we can do this thing. Congrats, bro.
I know, thank you. No, we have to. We have to push it, man. Why am fit? We have to, that's not a choice.
Before we go to the episode, so we've gone from the Penuel show to KONVO. To this day, people are like, yeah, Baba, there's this channel called KONVO that's biting your content, Baba. I don't know if you're aware. Angazi noma ngireport le channel or what?
No, the Penuel show converted to KONVO, like the name. But now we've got the Penuel show on the channel called KONVO.
When are you adding new content or different content?
We've got 2 people that we're starting to work with.
Sure.
We want to shoot at least 13 apps with them before we load. So we can see consistency.
Okay.
You know, just like with anything, consistency.
Which means if you don't get to 13, for whatever reason, you're like, this person's not trustworthy.
No, we can't.
We can drop the work, but it won't be...
Yeah, no, we can't. With you, it wasn't a thing. I mean, you had consistency for many years. So we didn't have to test E13 and then...
Sure.
So other people, I'm not sure if they can do what you do.
Okay.
And I think it's a money thing. Like what we're speaking about now. YouTube ain't you know.
Sure.
So for someone to come here once a
week... Without money.
Sure. At the end, you're like, dude, I'll give you 5,000. You're quarter. So we want to see. So we've got 2 shows.
How closely do you research movie directors? Like the big ones, Hollywood?
I don't research. I just know whatever movies they're coming out.
We have this assumption, Fethu, in society that, especially on Gamla, they've had a leg up. So if you were in Gamla, in Los Angeles, your parents took you to the right school, and then you got $100 million budget for movies and you hit. Almost all my top directors, all of them, or at least the ones I know. So David Fincher. No, I don't know about Fincher. Christopher Nolan, Guy Ritchie.
I don't have a leg up.
Who? David Fincher.
Not Fincher.
No, so I'm speaking about Christopher Nolan,
okay.
Quentin Tarantino, Guy Ritchie. All of these guys bootstrapped like their first productions, and they were clumsy, but they worked.
One thing they will tell you in common, all of them, the one thing they will tell you, all of them, is that their first movies, they worked with their friends.
Sure. And with a shoestring budget. And almost all of them started off indie.
Yeah. No, you have to. Fit.
There's a lesson to be learned there. These are the biggest directors, Fit. Even Ryan Coogler, who became the first non-white director to get a huge budget. Wasn't his budget 300 million?
Yeah, but...
For Black Panther?
Black Panther, yeah.
And it crossed over $1 billion.
He'll tell you that guy, in fact, he made album, in fact, he used to pay for my scripts, for transport, you know.
Because he started with short films. And he was just working with Michael B. Jordan. The other thing is these guys are loyal. All of them. They work with the same guys that write. They work with the same producers.
Yeah.
And then they generally work with the same talent. Christopher Nolan, it's Michael Caine. And he's repeated some of the actors. Guy Ritchie, of course, he'll have the same guys. I don't know about David Fincher per se. Quentin Tarantino always same guys. There's something to be learnt there that some people miss. Huh?
You have to start from the beginning. And I think Ama 2000 struggled with that. And I think only now...
I don't even think it's Ama 2000. I think it's everyone.
You think so?
People don't believe that you can... I use KFC as an example all the time. Because I had a fish and chip shop.
Yeah.
And when I met other kids trying to start a franchise of sorts, I was like, why are you trying to copy KFC now? With the drive-through and the... These guys started in a kitchen just pushing chicken. Just pushing a chicken from a kitchen. You have to start there. Anyways, let's go through the list. You want to say something?
You know who convinced me that white people don't have this thing? And I always said, Phil Knight.
Shoe
Dog. Yeah, Shoe Dog. The book. mean, I was convinced among Gamla, like all of them. I don't know where I got it from. I guess just because I'm black. I'm like, you're all white people, like they're nice and fake, everything great. After you read that book, you're like, hi, you writing. Hi, Baba. That guy convinced me.
Which is why people become special.
He convinced me that guy's like, hi, you writing.
I think Adrian Gore is an actuary. I stand to be corrected. I think he might be an actuarial scientist. But he worked in, it might have been healthcare or medical aids, and he came up with this idea for a unique medical aid that is priced based on your behavior and comes up with these benefits with vitality. Adrian Gore is Jewish. He went to King David Jewish school, very popular in Joburg. I think he might have been at the one in Linksfield. I don't think he was at Victory Park. Adrian Gore went to Investec, a Jewish bank, to ask for funding. They rejected him. He went to go and get funding from Amapuno at First Rand, the FNP guys. I remember I was at Investec, some event, and the leader, I think the CEO at the time, I don't know if he's still the CEO, Stephen Kosef. One of the questions I asked him afterwards is, how did you guys miss Discovery? Yes, as his face went sad. He's like, we miss a lot of deals because we get a lot of deals that come through and people looking. It's like, yeah, that's one of my saddest ones. I don't know how. Because you assume, you guys are all Jews. I'm sure you got money from Jews. I mean, look at Adrian Gore. It's like, hey, Baba, the guy went to get money got money from Amapuno.
But that's how it is when you hit. Sometimes you hit, sometimes you miss. It's the game. It's the nature of existing.
Okay. Penson was the first episode. Men must stop being weak. I know, very big on pro-masculinity chats. After that, we had Usis Mandisa, which we split in two. We did the same with Nhlanhla Lux after that, splitting in two, which is a formula I don't believe in.
We tried
splitting an episode in two. It doesn't work.
It was long.
Part one and part two. So Mandisa's first episode did 61,000 views, and then the second one did 21,000. Nhlanhla Lux, the first episode did 159,000 views. Then the second one did 58,000. This is the same sit down, but split in two.
Yeah. Oh, Lux, I remember that issues of sound. It's playing on the left. Hey, Bafetu.
Learning curve. Umandisa came through and we had an argument.
Yeah, Umandisa.
We had an argument, and right at that point where she almost got me emotional, something clicked in my head in that episode. I was like, you know what? I can't fight with guests.
Yeah.
I need to keep quiet and let guests do their thing. And from that point on, I don't argue with guests, even if I want to. And even if the comments are like, when a pen, you let this guy go down easy. I'm like, it's fine. The guest must be comfortable here. Otherwise, it becomes there's animosity and an uncomfortable space.
Oh, Rob was number 5.
Then Kulufelo Maponya came at number 4. Pretty dope. I actually owe him another sit down. We haven't sat in a while.
Yeah.
And then Rob Heasy. Rob Heasy came through, Baba. Which was pretty dope. I was like, say, Rob, would you like to come through? He's like, Pen, anytime for you, my friend. I'm like, okay.
Kind of Rob captured us. Ne? Was it him? It's him, ne?
So the Rob sitting here and some of the pictures with myself and him started that whole rumor which OMG went to ride about being captured and how the Penuel show, because the quality was too good. And then Velu Rob got to
and that time we were starting.
They didn't know what the fuck was coming.
Sizwe always speaks about in the beginning how he hates it. You don't like the look, ne?
I don't necessarily hate it, but
it was like, this is not us, man. What the fuck are we doing here?
I mean, you look at where we are now.
You're like, oh, this feels more normal.
And you look at where we started. Yeah, I know.
Jeez, shout out to you guys, man.
Yeah.
So Rob came through, then Wafiku Rutendo.
Rutendo messed things up.
And Rutendo had been on social media for a long time, but yes, we gave Rutendo something he'd never seen before. And look, he gave us something we'd never seen before. Yeah. Because this was the episode where he spoke about Rwanda and Paul Kagame. And it went viral, and certain politicians locally and on the continent and even overseas contacted him, and a few of them contacted me as well.
He's the guy. He's the guy that I was like, when he came in for the second time, pen vet. So the whole thing of impact.
But it was also the content he brought. Yeah. He was dropping bombs. The history lessons and the what.
Yeah.
And then Kwafi Nkululeko Nkeu, Nkululeko on culture.
That is dope.
He came to teach us, and Nkululeko loves speaking about money and podcasting. He came here to just tell us exactly how things are going. He told us about their Betway deal and how much they make
That was an
on
amazing
Diski TV.
That was an amazing app.
That was dope.
And just into YouTube, how it works, how they pay you, like me whiskey.
Sure.
That episode, Grand Sharp.
And then Kwafi Spuda. Lapa had been working with Spuda. I was still working with Spuda at that time.
Yeah.
Virtual Mkuku.
A lot. Yeah.
And it's like, no, I can't not have Spuda here. And this is where he dropped that.
Yeah, I was about to say
that he might be Umzegeze.
Yeah.
And I missed it. Everyone was like,
yes, Pen. You actually did, in fact. One was shooting.
Who was like, he could be holding a can of more fire. And then I was like, yeah. He's like, if you don't get it, forget about it. And I was like, in retrospect, people are like, who was saying he might be Umzegeze?
Yeah.
I'm like, I fucking missed it.
Yeah. You carried on,
missed it. So when things like that happen in my brain, I'm like, I now need to pay closer attention to guests.
Yeah.
So that I don't miss something. Because the guest might say something like,
I'll tell you.
yeah, then we drop 5 billion. Lapo in my head, oh. So where were you in 1970? Because I see it in other podcasts on other platforms. The host is not listening. Fuck all. The person is dropping a bomb. They leading you on to say, but the host is just like, interesting. So next question, you're like, wow,
those are the people who are not skilled. That's how Chup traps a lot of people. Off topic, like this whole thing of, many people say, yeah, Chup show is trash and whatnot, but they forget that something. Yeah, there's something about Ntwanele that he won't miss fuck all. He won't miss. If that guy, you give him a podcast, you will see another side of having conversations. I'm shy. He's skilled, man, in listening and just paying attention and picking up on certain things.
When the X Factor.
Yeah. And many people don't have it. They think they have it. Once you put them in front of the camera. Lentwanele has got something.
YouTube on that show. No, but why were you cheating? Why? No, but my man, cheating is wrong. I'm like, my boy, he loves the Penuel show. He was still a Dudla here. He's lost weight.
Yeah,
you see, has lost a lot of weight, bro.
He came back third time. He told us about.
Yeah, no, he's lost a lot of weight. He's lost a lot of weight, and he's very big on. We can't go through all these episodes.
Yeah, we'll go through.
Spoke about mining. That was pretty dope. My Hlome Chwete. I actually need to bring my Hlome back.
There's something that you missed about my Hlome Chwete that I wanted to tell you after. I was like, Pen, why didn't you go there? I guess maybe it was the same thing.
Not his mom, because his mom is in politics. Klampi timer.
Yeah, I forgot, but I was like, Pen, we missed something.
Maluzi Kikaba. You don't know?
No, I'll remember. I am Kumbul.
My Hlome came through. He should come through. We had Luyanda Jafta here. And I actually wanted to speak about...
amazing, man.
I wanted to speak about his business. But Luyanda was here to speak philosophy. And at the time, I allowed him to speak. But you almost... For me, because it's happened with guests thereafter.
Yeah.
I might have an agenda for why I approach you. But Kona Lentektua is spirit. If for whatever reason you're like, to look, I want to say something.
Yeah.
I must let the spirit go into Anna, because Lendo Zoisho, you're probably passionate about. Yeah. I know Omekchi invited Zex Bantuini for whatever they invited him for. And there were certain questions. And Zex was like, Fetu, you guys have a big platform. And I have an opportunity to speak to the youth. And I'm not going to mess it up by speaking about girls and what. And what tale of it? I thought that was pretty dope. So
yeah, that spirit thing, it's crazy, man. We also did that. I and Ali.
Sure.
She thought, so kulumanga politiki. We only spoke about that probably 10%. 90% was real things. So yeah, that thing was
Bapusha also came here.
Yeah.
Wanting to speak about business, and we spoke about
next.
That's dope. Useless episode here with you. So what were we even talking about? Masculinity, what?
As we speak about the most typical things.
Bongani Shabalala, one of Sizwe's
favorite app. Sizwe, uthanda ngale app mfowethu.
Yeah, Bongani was dope because he was just one of those people, like super ordinary human being, unassuming, very soft-spoken. But then you get to hear the kind of things he's done.
Yes. And he's been through a lot, that guy. You?
The things he's done are not ordinary things, you know.
Yeah.
So that juxtaposition for me was really nice.
I wonder how he's going to instill pain in their children. So they
He's not.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I've had those conversations with him. Struggling. You almost can't. It's difficult to manufacture. And the other problem, right, is kids have a mother.
Yeah, man. How do you...
Anyways. Ike. I come out at these times, Operation Tutula Sashisa. So speaking about foreigners and things.
I remember,
he's been here 3 times.
3 times.
Sure.
The second time he came here, he's like, "My camera away now. I am capable. Let's do last times. Pumile, bengale for kill."
Benson came back. Rutendo came back.
Yeah, Rutendo. Yo, we did a back to back Rutendo.
No, I think we split this episode in 2, man. He's wearing the same thing, I think.
But it's an hour 18. The other one is hour 15.
At this time, we weren't used to the idea of like long runs, of which the long runs came. The longest one is myself and Waras, 3 hours, 20 minutes.
That
ridiculous.
That ep hit.
I wanted to say Ubongani's episode has done 24,000 views. And some of my favorite sit-downs here have got low views.
Yeah.
Which tends to happen, I think, with some of the other people I've spoken to. This was an interesting episode. I was never ready. Peshe Atuma.
The best.
Kind of opening up about masculinity and his issues and what. It touched Amachita Mani. I think Peshe also loved this. He was like, yo, my man. The people that have hit me up, what. I was like, no, dope. May he rest in peace, man.
Yeah,
Eusebius Makaiser. Came through, we spoke about homosexuality and his life and debating man. And
honest
man.
Human being.
And then Eusebius went and passed on. One of the favorites, Fiso Matondo.
You know what we did wrong at Eusebius?
Okay.
December. Sis. We posted Eusebius in December because there's no way Eusebius got 44 and then Uba Matondo 80. Do you remember we posted?
You think it was timing?
It was Christmas. It was.
People don't watch during Christmas.
Oh, we were even debating on the group.
Didn't we do good views last Christmas with our Mpho Dagada?
Dude, we were even debating on the group.
Dagada, we had Joshua Maponga, we had Lux, I think, in December. And I think on Christmas, I think we had Princess Mtombeni.
Yeah. And that,
anyways, okay.
That wasn't a particularly like high numbers episode, Princess.
I don't know. Sometimes when I think I've figured this thing out, I'm feeling young shock. So
Maras Kulumile, like, should we drop? We even said no, let's wait for Jen. I remember the episode, we were like, let's go.
Sfiso Matondo. Always. Blessing, I need to invite Blessing back again as well. Was one of my closest friends at varsity. Blessing
yes, Maple. Yeah.
Nhlanhla Manganye.
Maple is a talent. Maple ushaye is it the reunion?
Roast?
No, not the roast. Reunion near Dube or I forgot the other one. How my player tell?
Sure.
Yeah. And you must understand, reunion, if you don't watch the show, you need to catch up almost on
everything.
Dude, so many hours of content.
And the nuances.
And the week before, my man, that's a skill.
Sure.
I'm a player tell. Yeah.
Blessing was dynamic at varsity. He came in to study, I think, business science. And I'm so glad he found his way to entertainment because his personality was designed for this. Nhlanhla Manganye earlier this year opened the late last year, the Kushinda Academy. She's been pushing and she represents so many female entrepreneurs that are unsung and that are so dope and that are still pushing. She's almost like an old school black woman or pushayo. Yeah. Kagiso Sibidiela. Being married doesn't make you a great dad. I love having chats with Freeds. I must actually call him back. I call him Freedom.
You know what? I was thinking we can do. He's in a group Yamatai, man.
Yeah.
Just something about dads.
Fathers.
Dope, yeah.
I've had a few podcasts of fathers that have wanted to sit with me. TT Mbaz started a podcast interviewing, I think I might cheat on being men and fathers. I just haven't made time to go and sit there. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Dr. Sizwe Walsh, who's got one of the fastest growing podcast currently, especially with elections and politics.
His channel is nice. It's growing, man. Quality, everything is dope.
My mom really loved listening to him. My mom loved listening to some of the chats we had with like mixed race kids because she kind of identified with some of the struggles. Gerald Mwandiambira, probably one of the highest trending clips on social media that's come from us.
Yeah.
The story of Mansa Musa went all the way to America or Tyrese, I think about Jay-Z.
Freeway.
That little clip of Mansa Musa went berserk.
Yeah.
Absolutely berserk. And I think one of the guys that shared it, I think it's called Chaka Bars on Instagram. They've got like 1 million followers on Instagram. They shared that clip and it went viral.
That was dope.
Shout out to Gerald, man. Gerald wafi wabamba nenkomish like wachitheka amanzi. I was like, hey, Gerald, what's going on, bro? We had Rutendo back speaking, trying to defend the ANC here. Cyril Ramaphosa is being betrayed. I had conversations with him recently and
he changed his tune probably.
Rutendo's had a lot of controversy and I've been attacked a lot for his views. Speaking sideways about South Africans, wanting to tell South Africans how they should vote and why, defending illegal foreigners here, and then his own personal things that have trended on socials. Hey, we had some beautiful women on the Sbahle Stole.
Oh my God. That's Q's favorite app. No, second favorite app.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sbahle came to speak about business. Her father was a polygamist. It was nice touching on that and her experience as the child of.
But when he walked out of the house, it was like royalty.
There was a guard of honor. Sure.
That's how most men want to live.
Because my father's coming because he already changes the linen. Then we had Miranda Nchangase of Star Quality.
Yeah.
I enjoyed speaking to Miranda.
Her,
yeah, she used to be my agent at Gano before she started her own agency.
Was she an agent for your kid? Or you wanted to?
Yeah, my kids joined her agency, Star Quality.
Okay.
Unkunzi, for example, got his acting role on Baby Mamas through Star Quality.
Oh, okay. Stop.
Yeah. One of my favorite things she said was, you can't measure art. Something along those lines. That art is an expression, so it can never be wrong. It's like singing. Yeah, say I should be a bimba, but Ntwana, as long as you're feeling it. Ntwana, you can't say this artwork is better than this one. It's expression, which means the expression of somebody is better than. During the episode.
No, but that was at the end. But
was it like that? I was like, you guys have food. Like, accent, see what's going on? I think we've blocked each other since this. I don't know if we've unblocked each other. She's trolled me.
Yeah, I want to I'm fine.
I'm looking at this list and there's probably episodes missing, right? Because I can't see on my side. Unota.
No.
I think I've had Unota once or twice.
3. He's not here.
He's not here. 3 episodes. 3 episodes.
Yeah, so cannot.
So I've privatized those episodes and maybe let me speak about that because this is part of the journey.
Yeah.
Nota was the Andrew Tate of South African social media 2 years ago. He was trending every day, if not every week, on Twitter, on every podcast, causing havoc. It was exciting, lots of information and intel. I said to them, the first time I met him, he pissed me off so much. And then after that, I kind of warmed up to him. Nota came through, we had chats, they were dope. And then he said, yeah, you've got guys who we come on their podcast and blow them up and then they don't appreciate us. Hey, that put me off, bro. Because we're trying to build something, we're pushing, and I'm the last person to call a guest because I'm trying to prostitute them. No, Ntwana, let's call Ubanbani for numbers. I wasn't inviting Nota for numbers. It's because it's someone I've met, someone I speak to. I think it's got good intel and we can chat. So for him to say that put me off.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe depending on the comments for this episode, if people are like, no, Ntwana, bring back the episodes. Maybe we'll bring them back. But that really made me sad. I don't ever want people to... For example, if a guest came here, watched their episode and felt some type of way about their family, about their work, and they're like, hey, I wouldn't be so arrogant as to ngenkani be like, hey, fuck. It's like, let's lose out.
Yeah.
Because I'm being considerate.
Down, yeah.
But then on the other side, it's like, hey, it's fine. After Nsiki, we go and we get Vusi.
I wonder what Vusi did.
This episode almost didn't happen. Vusi postponed twice. I was over him. He comes the third time, and even then, I think he was 2 hours late.
4 or 5 hours. We convinced you not to leave.
I was like, Fetu, let me send this guy a message and tell him, let's forget about it. And in my head, I was like, after today, I'm not asking him to sit again. Wafi umavusana nge Aston Martin. And it became a sizzling episode. And
yes,
I know in his head, and when he hears this, he's going to be like, I'm worth it. I'm worth you fucking waiting, you fucking swines. Like, fusek mavusana. This episode and the clips on Twitter, on TikTok, of which Vusi on his platforms, he still uses a lot of these clips. So every now and then, it's almost like it's new. The number of people to this day, white, black, Indian, when I've traveled to parts of the world, because I got to travel last year, hey, my man, that episode with Vusi, tell me why. You're like, okay, Vusi is actually a big deal. Vusi is actually huge. And then, for some reason, people say this episode, it was like it was anointed.
Yeah, no.
Magic dust. People are like, this is a conversation.
Vusi have been following him for years. Business advice.
Sure.
When he was traveling around and giving advice via business, Till today, I still listen to him. So I was a fan even before.
Sure.
Then when you convinced me, no, let me tell you, man, I don't know all the potential when he said with Sadhguru.
Sure.
How did he hook that up? Like, how Mavi?
Before Sadhguru, it was Tom Pelu.
Oh,
Impact Theory.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
I was like, no, Intona's moving.
Yeah. I know Mavi. And have free intel about the business. That's what I like about his stuff. Sure. It's free. You don't have to study. Watch his whole YouTube.
He may not confirm, but I'll tell you that this episode did something for him.
Amazing.
I think Naiwabuga episode what say. No, that is your keeper. The boy Sizwe didn't want to sit with us today. We wanted to do a 3-man vibes. Sizwe Dube. This is Penson's favorite episode.
Yes.
Penson's like my favorite episode is with Sizwe Dube. And then Sizwe ngumbribe ake wamthengela a hat or something stupid because I'm a cheater. But yeah, I really enjoyed Sizwe. And yeah, I need to sit with Sizwe again. One of the most sober-minded, mature guys with perspective. So when I found out Sizwe is an artist, a visual artist, something started making sense. Because he comes with an eye, he comes with the sensitivity. And I just love his story, man. But he prefers being behind the camera and being quiet.
You guys always argue about schools. You come from what school?
He goes to a shit school called JP Boys.
Oh, is that the issue?
No, I tease him. So I didn't go to a known rugby school, and I didn't go to a boys' school. But because of rugby, I've been around all the circles. Oh. So what happens is boys' schools and top rugby schools, the guys chirp each other. You wouldn't know this because when you makaya, you know what I mean? This is for suburban cheese, you know what I mean?
When you don't go to those schools, you don't go there, Ben.
Oh yeah, I got involved. But I got involved.
Oh yeah, no fair.
So because of that rugby thing, what happens when you meet guys from certain schools is the first thing you do is you chirp them. When I met Rob Hersoff, because he went to Michael House, the first thing is, didn't you go to that shit school there in KZN? What shit school? There's that fucking pub school, like Michael bruh. It's a
okay.
It's that outy thing. It's that thing that gents do. So but yeah, JP Boys cares top Joburg schools that I love very much. And then the private St. John's, St. Stithians. Yeah, and then there's other lekker schools. But there's schools everywhere that are pretty dope around the country. Mandisa came back. Was this the last time she sat with us? This was the last time?
Yeah. This was the last time.
Must we talk about it? Not talk about it. I'll touch on it quickly. So we sat with Mandisa and she fought as per usual and she raised misogyny and patriarchy, toxic masculinity, the thing about you men, and you're like, yo. And even people in the comments like, Penuel, how do you sit with Losisi Fethu? And just I'm like, hey, Fethu. Mandisa Fethu wamthinta and Amachita, I'll say Amachita as a collective.
Yeah.
Decided to ask her questions off air and she was not impressed.
Yeah.
So it became a bit hostile. Penson was coming in on that day, he met Umandisa, she was leaving and he laughed. Yeah, these guys are actually misogynist because no Penson you are. So yeah, since then I haven't had Umandisa come back. She said she'd like to come back, but she said things, but you must tell your crew that. I'm like, yo, hey, kunzima man.
And now, but in Yeslung, we are welcoming. I want to Tina. I'm telling our crew fit on background. It does.
Oh, Sonny. Gofika uDuduzane Zuma. Yeah. Befika ne security is serious.
Hey,
serious. We shot it on the same day. Duduzane and Winston, back to back. Yeah. So we shot it on the same day, but we drop it a few episodes later. Duduzane came through. He was still running as an independent candidate. Then later on, it set up AGC, All Game Changers.
Was it AGC? Oh yeah.
Yeah, this was a lekker chat, man. Coming here, busy dropping hip hop bars, and Duduzane Fethu has got an X factor. He's got an interesting X factor because initially Mazi, it's his father.
Yeah.
You're like, Jacob Zuma. Then when you meet some of Zuma's other kids, they don't have this thing that this guy has. And I don't know how aware of it he is, or if he knows fully how to use it.
Sure.
And this guy is loved. And when he's in a space, we are and he has no beef with anyone. I've said so many times with Duduzane, every time I'm in Durban, almost every time, I hook up with him, we chat. Yeah,
that means he's got the father thing then. That's what they have in common. Baradeg. I don't know what is Baradeg. Yeah. Yeah.
Sabu is Dudla. He was still a Dudla here, mining in South Africa. Sabulela. We were speaking about Amazamazama, I think, here. Yeah, so Sia came back, gave us more intel. Spoke. Sia's got 3 books now, which are bestsellers that take a lot. And then Q's favorite episode. The episode that I woke up in the morning and I regretted. And it's one of our most viewed. Which is why, like I keep saying, sometimes you think you know, but you don't know. And I'm like, But this episode was also proof that if we wanted to chase numbers, we could get numbers.
100%.
Because I have an idea of the type of people I want to bring here that would pummel numbers.
You know how many people were angry at you for this app? Yeah, Xoli Mfeka. You must go to the comments. Sure. Because they said a president about what the panel show is about.
It's about,
yeah, intellectual people solving
smart
issues.
Conversation. We had to
Yeah, Ndwana.
And then we had to call him Mfeka.
People were angry. Yeah, he's chasing
numbers.
Yeah, people were angry. Khomoto's favorite app as well. He might not admit,
but his camera has proof.
Yeah, no.
The zoom ins and the angles.
Yep.
Xoli Mfeka came through. My guess is that she'd never watched a Penuel show episode.
Yeah,
she came here expecting to be interviewed.
Yeah.
And it took a while and I was also struggling. And some of the people in the comments picked it up, but I think she warmed up a little bit later. Yeah. I invited her. Okay, no. So her management asked if she could come through. And I was hesitant. But in my head, I thought I was going to get something. I invited her for the wrong reasons. And the reason I regretted it that morning was because I went that morning to watch the sit down on Podcast and Chill. And I was like, fuck, this was a flop. I should never have invited this chick. What I wanted to get an insight into the psychology of a sex worker.
Yeah.
But she's not like that. She's not going to come here like, there's this Khan lady, that beautiful therapist who speaks about women and money and... Xoli is not going to come in and explain, which, people that are into sex work think, give us an intellectual. She's just like, it's me, continue. And you're like, not the right guest.
For the platform.
For what I was trying to achieve.
Oh, okay, cool.
But I still enjoyed sitting with her. And almost 500,000 views. The fucking pervert gents on social media are there watching.
They loved it, man. They loved it. I don't blame them. Sizwe, would you also like Xoli's app?
It was very fun.
It was very fun.
Yeah, it was fun to watch,
Shooting?
Alone by yourself?
I was not...
Huh?
Shooting, yeah.
Shooting what?
I mean...
You did the side shot, ne?
I mean, I'm not going to lie and say I've never seen Xoli half naked.
Half?
Half naked.
Half? Does she get half naked?
Penuel.
She doesn't only get full naked.
And manje bayolimaza west now.
I've only seen her half naked.
Yeah.
And so,
Umel.
but in that, Yeah, I was a bit intimidated.
Oh, because you want a role model now. You see. You know what's gonna be.
So I'll bump into people and they'll speak about Vusi Tembiwayo.
Yeah.
Then I'll bump into my out.
Yeah.
Hey, XFH, when you shy podcast, show. Hey, I ask you stuff sako.
Yeah.
Hey, una leche rukoli. Yeah.
And they pretend
you
like
only watch to call. You're lying.
And they pretend like they don't know who to want to call.
No, mfethu hey unabantu aba-blind labo kwi-podcast abo. Mfethu angitshe ubuna Xoli Mfeka. We're not having a chat most here.
And you know what's crazy now about all this industry? It's opening up now on Twitter. Musk has made it official for porn to be put in there. It's
not official. It's always been there.
No. But now there's some channels, they will always get a suspension.
Okay.
So they're not going to get suspensions anymore.
I don't think they ever got suspensions. Maybe it's formalizing porn on Twitter.
No. I get it. There was a 10 years ago.
Okay.
Rob Iger wanted to buy Twitter, the Disney CEO, current CEO.
Okay.
He left and then he came back. They wanted to buy Disney wanted to buy
Twitter.
Twitter. When they were buying everything, buying Spider-Man, like all the big franchises, you know. And they said you must buy Twitter. It's like, you know, the issue with Twitter is that we'll not be able to take down the porn. That is the issue. And now we're a kid-friendly business, you know. So, but the thing he spoke about is that it's not that Ngutanye poster, but where they can pick it up, they can suspend you.
Sure.
Now they've taken down the whole thing of suspension.
But a lot of
some people back in the day when you used to Google them, like they're huge porn stars, like back then, we can't mention them.
Sure.
When Abu Capri style, so.
Yeah.
I'm a legend. When you Google
them.
them.
I'm a legend, they're porn.
No, man, you know.
I don't know.
Porn Dalikon,
Oh.
Yeah, Abu Pinky. You know, Pinky, you know.
Who's Pinky?
So you wouldn't find them. So now that thing of suspension is completely out. And I wonder what's going to do for the industry. Because for them, Twitter was to promote porn.
Sure,
so
and promote their OnlyFans as well.
Yeah, but now I don't know how they're going to do that business model.
A lot of people have asked for Elon Musk to remove porn on Twitter. What I could say is, if you want to keep it, which I don't support, I'd prefer they remove it. But don't make it accessible to people. Be like 18 plus and you need to subscribe and what. And especially the spam. Because under your post, there'll be like my nudes and you're like, that's very annoying.
So now it's going to be worse.
Zimasa Vabaza Mustafa. Brilliant media mind. Now we are telling in terms of intel and information.
You know what I like about people like him? He reminds me of Amajita, like you. What is the word? Is it high memory retention? I don't know if that's the correct word.
Okay.
Like,
I hear you.
Yeah, that's
because he's well read, he's well researched, and he can hoy.
That's the one skill I don't have that I wish I had. To remember things.
Sure.
Yeah. It's such a powerful thing. And it almost seems like something you're born with. It's almost like it's a skill that can be taught. Because most of the people that I've spoken to, even with you,
sure.
It doesn't seem like you were taught this thing. There's just something that you have from birth. It could be the one skill that you can't teach. Or if you had to teach, it's going to be extremely hard to teach. Memory retention. And you guys
I'll tell you what I think happens with me and Mustafa particularly. And I've seen this with Dr. Uma Johnson. Who's another good example? Shit.
Vusi.
Maybe Vusi. Sometimes we go and we read certain intel that we find very fascinating.
Okay.
And then we share it. And every time we have a talk or something is triggered, we repeat that same thing until it sounds like, Dwana, how do you know all the banks and how much they made and in what year? It's like the number of times Dr. Uma Ifatunda has spoken about various black leaders and what they've done and which countries they're from. You're like, TD Jakes. TD Jakes but because he preaches all the time, if you were to say John 16, he's like, no, as down, you're like, ha! And you're like, it's because I've had to say it so many times.
Okay.
I think that helps. I don't know if it counts as what you're saying in terms of natural, but I think it helps. If, for example, I raise certain movies, or immediately, you know the director, the producer, the writer,
sure.
You know the quotes. One of your favorite, Dark Knight Rises, Bane.
come on, you cannot mess with that.
Give us the line. Keep up Mustafa manje. I need to say Akumbuli. Sizwe, what's the line? What does Bane say to Batman about the dark?
I was born in it, molded by it. I didn't see that light until I was a young man. But then it was nothing to me but blinding. The shadows betray you because they belong to me. Come on, man.
You merely adopted.
I was born in it, molded by it.
Sorry, what you've got it.
Hey, Kotla. I get what you're saying, because even in Gladiator, I mean, I can hit probably 50% of that movie, man.
Sure.
That whole beginning scene, I
was rewatching. So I went to go and watch Bad Boys Ride or Die. As we film this today, it cost $100 million. Shout out to Jerry Bruckheimer. Mm-hmm. They've got new directors because it's not Michael Bay, but he features as an extra. As we record this, I think they've hit over $220 million. Good money. So because of it, sometimes, the nostalgia, because it's released 2024, the first Bad Boys came out in 1995. That's Inkululeko. That's like 94. It's like ANC. And to watch how the guys have grown. So I went back to watch the episodes. I don't think I've watched the first Bad Boys a lot, to be honest.
Sure.
But under the lines, they just come like this. Can we borrow some brown sugar? And then Jojo, tell him Jojo. You remember all the lines and the things and it's fucking dope.
Franchising.
Anyways, now I was just thinking of something that hits you with an impact to a point where you can,
Speaking about movies, I see Ster-Kinekor, they're not closing their those nice cinemas anymore.
I think they might be closing some, but they're not closing all of them.
Do you have an impact? I know that you've spoken to them. Have they called you back? What happened?
So the article came out that Ster-Kinekor was going to be shutting down, it went under business rescue, shutting down some cinemas and letting go of staff. And I wrote a piece on Twitter, and then I posted it on LinkedIn and on Facebook about ideas on how Ster-Kinekor can save their business and what they're doing wrong. It trended, did very well. A lot of people, a lot of business people, by the way, on LinkedIn sent me DMs outside of Ster-Kinekor, because I guess they're like, hey, this guy's actually got a business brain, has got some solutions. I don't know if it's something I should do regularly. I've got a lot of thoughts on a lot of businesses. I just normally keep it to myself, and you'd almost want to consult at a fee. But maybe this is a way, jab, right hook. Maybe it's my way to let people know, guys, I can actually see where your business is falling short. Couple of weeks thereafter, I got a DM from Ster-Kinekor. They asked for my email address. I sent them an email, and as we film this, they just have to come back to me with sitting down. I don't know what's going to come from it, what's going to happen. At the lowest end, if they call me back for it, if I can just get free tickets, I'll be like, it's like fine. I posted a tweet, but if we can do something more, because some of the ideas I gave there, I know there's complexities, but things like certain football sports matches, certain series. I know towards the end of Game of Thrones, they were flighting it at certain cinemas. People go to, those things work. Some of my criticisms were the snacks, and many people complain the snacks at Ster-Kinekor are expensive.
Very expensive.
If you go to an ordinary Ster-Kinekor and you buy snacks, you're looking at 400 Rand maybe for you and your partner or whoever you're with, two of you, plus snacks. 400 Rand. That's fair to, I think in Netflix is $99. That's 4 months subscription with a plethora, with a bouquet of films. So it becomes tricky. And I spoke to one of the Ster-Kinekor employees because I'm a movie fanatic, and they were like, I don't know if they were being honest. They were like, the money that you guys pay for tickets go to the cinema and the movies. The people that supply the movies. We get paid by the snacks. That's what they said. And I was like, I hear you, but it's not a good enough sell. Because if the argument is the snacks are expensive to pay the staff, number one, let's try and find other ways to make snacks more affordable so that staff can get paid. Let's diversify the range of snacks so that people can buy more than just what you have. And the other thing is, if your snacks are affordable, people will come and buy popcorn even if they don't need to watch a movie. But now you're focusing so much to a point where, people still smuggle snacks into movie because of the price. A popcorn fair to 50 Rand. You're like, "Ay baba, ngizoma nge Pick and Pay ngithenge ama-lays nge-20 randi, ngifake esikhwameni ngingene." So, anyway, so that was the story at Ster-Kinekor. One of my favorite episodes, one of my favorite storytellers. He's got a gift. I don't know if he knows how much he's got a gift, but he's got a gift. Winston Innes.
Oh, yeah.
Winston Innes won a lot of people with his sit down here and his story.
111. That's big. For a guy that's not known, that is a lot of numbers.
Yeah.
That is a lot of numbers.
But Pusha came through.
Right, eh? Yeah.
But Pusha came through, thought we were going to be speaking about business and what, and we just had a chat. Miles Gbega.
Favorite.
Brilliant sit down.
Favorite.
Miles comes to me afterwards. He's like, "My man, your platform." I'm like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "My man, the people that watch your stuff." I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Bro, a lot of these people I've been trying to have meetings with and what. They got DMs. They're like, bro, I saw you on the Penuel show." It's like, "My man." And the other cool thing that I got from Miles was Miles saying, my mom came to me and she's like, "I didn't know you could speak this much."
Nice.
He's like, "I've never spoken as much as I got to speak. So maybe you have some type of gift in getting people to open up." And I was like, "That's pretty dope." He owes us Maheu link. He owes us Miles a Maheu link. We actually have to follow up. That's on us.
You know, that's one of the most powerful stories of, because I was raised by Ole.
Sure.
I mean, his story is powerful. There's so nuggets from that story, man. The one that I always remember was when he spoke about Ole Keebine. I don't know which year was it, but when Amapone were doing their thing. And obvious, Ole works somewhere. She goes downstairs, she go buy something. Like, "Hey, don't pass your coin." Like, it's upstairs. They're like, get in the van. Gets in the van. Lepunuleli does the usual thing, going to get other blacks in the van. And they're chilling them by themselves inside the van there. And then old lady just walks out. Mm-hmm. And she said to the other guys, "What that's fine?" And they said, "No." You. And I'm like, "Vele, that's black people, eh?"
You reminded me of stories. I think it was Sfiso Madondo. You know the power of story? Sfiso Madondo, I think it's him. Because I was going to say it's Miles Gbega, but I don't think it was him.
Which story?
The story of if you stand on the side of the road and you ask people to help you push a car.
He says, if you're that's another thing about your Madondo story. Yeah. I know the story. Sorry, I catch you.
No, it's fine.
Oh yeah, hey, that's the one. I mean, I don't remember a lot of what people say. Like in the 2-hour convo, I remember like probably 10 seconds. That story is like, you must be doing something. Because at the core, it's about that. If you're stuck, get out and push that car.
By yourself.
The likelihood of people stopping,
sure.
My man,
this guy is struggling.
Yeah.
But if you just stand on the side of the road, please help me.
Yeah. That was a powerful story. And just Miles's consistency, man.
He's a brilliant mind. And we've had a couple of them here. And we haven't even explored them. So Miles is one. We spoke about Luyanda Chafta. These are brilliant minds. And one of the things people have enjoyed about the Penuel show is, where do you get these guys? And it's like, guys, there's actually a lot of them, us. It's just they've never had a conducive environment and platform to be like, "Don't I want to come through, but I don't think we'll be able to chat about the things I'm into. The books I read, the things I watch. Because what are we going to speak
you're
about?"
So right. There's those people very like Usiya. It's like, where did you get him? Like Usiya is like, where did you get him? Ubongani is like sure. There's a lot of these people, man, in the pen. Even now, when we're sitting, you're like, "Hey, pen."
And some of these guys also help us lure other guys. So let's say like a Miles Gbega might lure Talipani Banks. To be like, "Oh shit, no, then these are my chats, most.
Choose favorite.
These are my chats, most." You know what I mean? Yeah. Penson comes through again, embrace your darkness. Penson uyathanda ukudelela mayifika la. Uyangicasula when he comes here. Penson comes here like it's his mom's house. He comes here, relax, he speaks to the crew, abe unprofessional. When I say something, he's like, "Abofethu, uyangiphulisha." Fucking bastard.
But you guys know it's a brother thing, man.
Hey, fuck the brother thing.
Or you pencil.
Big sit down, which was luck. Luck. So this episode I knew was going to do well. I didn't know it was going to do this well, but I knew it was going to do well because he's a superstar more than anything. Dr. Umar Ifatunde, my black brother, the belly of the hey, people were trolling me in that episode. Hey, Uma, what's that? Dr. Uma comes into South Africa. Mzanele Ntuli, no Puti, snap, man. He's gonna be one of the guests on the show. I apologize. I really wanted to get his name. They bring Dr. Uma here. He comes to speak. DJ Sizwe is supposed to sit with him. Because Sizwe is the pro-black, what. And some things happen there and it's not happening.
So apparently, if I remember, apparently, I mean, I know I'm fagulous into the troll. It's like, apparently, I agree. He did the who's that guy? The Jewish to what? The guy who,
Hebrews.
Yeah, they were clashing. They were the same
Hebrews
day.
to Negroes.
Yeah.
So he couldn't.
Yeah, Hebrews to Negroes. And you know what's dope about Dr. Uma? That's when we changed the set. That's when we added it's on that light. We're not using it anymore. It was when that's when we changed the set. Because the other ones.
Konje, you were wearing your black beret there, being pro-black, Black Panther.
Dude, I don't even know you're bringing Dr. Uma. This guy
going to fix his airco on screen.
That's
someone said this the other day. It's like your cameraman chasing clouds. I'm like, hey, but I was like, but they're right.
It's Sizwe that did the last episode. It was Sizwe walking around. What episode did you have, Sizwe?
I don't walk around usually.
Hey, Mato, the latest app will walk. But if a guest wants waters, tune in. And the mic here, I don't understand what the phone is tune in.
People are just used to podcasts where they never see like those, like behind the scenes moments.
But this space for you must be very comfortable.
How?
It must be very comfortable and things must be lacquer.
And it was lacquer. It was lacquer, man.
Doctor, we had him for a very short time, and because we had him for a short time, I couldn't fully flex the conversations I want, but I tried to ask some of the more important questions. The work he's doing, being black, African, can a white person be what? Can a white person be African? Snow bunnies, all those lacquer things. I think people enjoy that. Over 1 million views. I brought Ernst Van Zyl of AfriForum. The number of black timers, the number of black fathers that have come to me to say, I saw you Nhlanhla AfriForum. And when I first saw you, I got angry. And then, I'm thinking, yeah. And for me, bringing Ernst and AfriForum was a reminder of why I chose to have a platform like this. Most people lack perspective. They've actually never listened to the other side of whatever they claim to hate or dislike. And bringing him here to speak for himself, many myths were dismantled. Yes, people can still feel however they feel about AfriForum, but they were like, as if to be honest, I actually didn't really know what these guys were about and what they do. AfriForum is on and you're like, no. So that was pretty dope. Dr. Uma Fatunde drops. What was happening here? Okay, now skip on my scandals. Skip scoop. So this episode drops, and the episode that's meant to drop after this is Olwi Tumlocho.
Yes.
Who always like
moved it.
Who always like, why did you sit with that homophobe? I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, no, that homophobe. That I'm like, Oli, bro, I sit with anyone. He was not impressed to a point where he didn't want his episode to be released. I was like, you know me, you know my heart, you know where I stand, and it would take a while for him to calm down. But we dropped Ernst Van Zyl. I think we were swapping things around.
We swapped a lot of things.
Ernst Van Zyl. I'm like, except we dropped Dr. Uma, pro-black. You don't worry about dropping after. You don't worry about dropping after. Ernst is like, no. He's like, drop the episode.
Yeah.
He's like, we're going to do over 100,000 views.
I
I'm
remember.
like, "Aye, Baba." He's like, don't worry, trust me. I was like, hey, I'm a Punu face of confidence. Umchita hits 100,000 views, and he was like, I told you.
And that was
Right
in a
now,
week,
it's at 245,000. Comfortably. Don't worry about that. Self-belief.
Yeah.
It's a Punu. Anyways.
If we drop this guy now during the elections, and this whole thing, my DNA, my NC, it was gonna be more crazy, actually.
One of my favorite episodes and my favorite for the longest time, Usisu Andiswa Gebashe. And we experimented there because we had an interpreter filmed. And one of the concerns that had been raised is that interpreters are always given a little box in the video. And you decided, no, the interpreter must be seen. I still feel to this day that it's compromised views. And I think the conversation needed to be had. The one thing I noticed when I rewatched it was there was a lot of banging on the table, which is partly why we have these mics now. So that if a guest is banging, it doesn't pick up on the mic. Shout out to you guys, no Sizwe. There's a lot of banging on the table, but I really enjoyed this chat. And I think maybe it was mentally stimulating for me because we were speaking about language, sign language, body language, what, the deaf community and things that I was meeting her for the first time. So that was pretty dope. And myself and Andiswa have gone on to do work together.
Yeah. Nice.
So that was pretty dope. I wonder if she went to the inauguration with the president. Gee.
Mr. Mackenzie
I was laughing the whole fucking time.
came with some heavy securities, Bale. Hey, besikhala la ngaphansi. Akhumbula Sizwe. Hey. But it was our third time experiencing security guys now. Because we did it with Dr. Uma's security.
Dr. Uma came with security, Winston Innes and Duduzane came with security, and then
I think it was
Gates and Mackenzie came with security. Sorry?
Duduzane came alone.
No, they came as a crew.
Didn't Winston come after Duduzane?
No, they came together. It was one day with security.
Duduzane arrived alone.
Oh, yeah.
Winston came late.
So I think Duduzane came with the bike.
No, he drove up.
He came with the car.
He arrived first alone, we shot him.
Okay.
Then
Winston came with security. Oh,
Winston kina kilinga security.
Yes.
Oh.
So Winston has tried to explain that, because Duduzane, because of his profile and the work they were doing, they wanted to ensure security. So because of that, they have security where they are. When you speak to DZ, it's like, my bro, I'm not really about all this stuff, but I understand the risks and all those things. Gates and Mackenzie were fair in security arc that was also busy laughing at his jokes there instead of checking. I really enjoyed this chat, man. I always enjoy listening to Gaten. Gaten face is just entertaining. He's a great speaker.
He's real,
charismatic, very real. He trended for saying he's not colored. And colors were chowing him, boy.
You must see the
Uaras. He's gone on to start his own podcast. Beno PH.
I think that there's a clip of his, I think it's the most viewed on TikTok on our page. Yeah, Waras.
Not the color thing.
Yeah, it's that.
Yes.
Yeah, hey, that clip in Feti Shile. Yo. I'm trying to find it. Yeah, but anyway. Yo.
With Waras, then we had, I think it was the first time it sat on a platform for a while, Sandile shares. Because there'd been accusations, money, he was going into politics. Yeah. He came through, and to be honest, when I sat down with him before we had this, that's where I met Mpho Dagada for the first time. Not here, wherever we met, no Sandile. I met Mpho Dagada, I met Sandile shares. I'm like, to come through, because they wanted to speak about something else.
Sorry, I found the clip, sorry.
Sure.
492,000.
On he's not colored.
Yeah, it was there. I'm not colored.
Yes.
No. Dino Ranaga. Wait, man. How do you use it? Baby's on the Why is it not writing the thing there at the top?
What thing?
No, it's written Dino Ranaga is a legend. Wait, man.
I remember how you even said Dino Ranaka is a legend.
Yeah, 492,000.
I think he was speaking about Saul Pendua. And Saul, I don't know what it's called in radio speak, being an anchor or something. Yeah. There's a first voice, whatever technical terms that he hits us with. So
TikTok is so weird, man. How can you 500,000? Jesus.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Bianca Costa. Bianca gave me one of my highest views on my channel.
Is it?
Yeah. So Bianca says to me, Bianca says to me, yeah, I see you invited, because I need manje abantu bayaklasana now because of platform.
Okay.
I invite people to come and sit on dope conversations. They're like, this is not the Penuel show. And I'm like, Kanta uzanga give no, I thought maybe they'd be. I'm like, oh, okay.
How do you feel about that, man?
It's annoying for me. But it's annoying for me. That's how I feel. Because it means people came for a glamour and not for the chat. But for now, oh, I saw you on the Penuel show.
I find it very fascinating that you can do the exact same thing, but people go there for different things.
Sure.
But it's the exact same thing. It's a ring. And I don't know how we achieved that with this being with the Penuel. I still can't figure out why someone would like, especially if it's based on a chat. Like it's a ring. Like what? Yeah, why is that one the one that you want to go to?
I think it's a couple of things. The quality is sensational, number one.
Yeah.
It might be I guess you'd call it brand leverage. Might be number two. I want to be on the platform not Dr. Uma. Lena ngiyazile. Itume ngandle. Ubani wakwahlala kule.
Yeah.
Ngathi ngilethe kwisiphaza mfethu kanti I've seen people come to your mansion. I think it might be that.
That one is more valid, I think, than the quality one.
But the quality they love as well. Anyways, Bianca's like, why don't you invite me to the Penuel show? I'm like, for what? She's like, no, I also want to come there. I'm like, no, but we're going to sit here. She's like, you must invite me. She's like, what would it take for you to? I'm like, well, you can come anytime. She's like, listen, if this episode does 100,000 views, invite me to the Penuel show. That's okay, sure. And the episode did probably close to 300 and something.
Yeah,
I think close to 200,000.
Oh.
I think.
Is it? Okay.
The one that's done the most on my other channel is the debate between Ike and Rutendo, of which, to be honest, that was it was an opportunity, which I haven't done. I'm aware of it, but it's like, to bring more debates. Bring Tebza, bring a blesser, and then bakhulume about how they make on chicks. Athi mjede kusefethu amachira dingi nyu ukuthi fuck.
Uyangazongihlalise ku nonsense.
Yeah,
Hey.
Yini nonsense man.
I did bless and hey, for sake.
My follow up, to be honest, and it never happened, was 139,000 views. My follow up was going to be Umandisa Mashego and Penson debating toxic masculinity and feminism. The reason it was shut down, because I could have pushed it. Umandisa asked me one question, and right after she asked the question, I was like, let's leave it. Let's leave it. I'd like to invite you to a debate, feminism versus toxic masculinity. Who am I debating? Oh, my brother Penson. She knows my brother. What's his profile? What's his expertise on gender relations? Not, you know what?
No.
Let's leave it. Because what's going to happen in that debate is it's going to go sideways. And the main thing she's going to raise is you're not even an expert on gender relations, and it's like, it's not going to take out what I'd like, which is not so much, I didn't want to bring Mandisa for arguments. I wanted it to come and be like, these are the things women have been through. This is why we're here.
Yeah.
And then for Penson to come back and be like, but the thing about men, highest rates of suicide, men go to war. I didn't want it to degenerate into something that it's not.
I know.
You know what I mean?
Because, I'm with you.
Hey, now that I'm raising it, I must actually hold another debate, man. Somehow. Kulegonke, who came back again?
What do we speak about here?
I don't remember. But I think here, if I'm not mistaken, Nkulego disappeared on podcasting. I think. And then he came back to explain why he'd kind of stopped. And I think one of the things he said is he had to take a step back. I think. I hope it was on this platform and on private. He was like,
is this what I want?
Is this what I'm trying to do? And what value am I adding to society?
Reflecting about, he was, yes. I remember.
Vuyo Zungula, Sizwe's favorite politician. Vuyo Zungula came through.
Did you vote for?
Yeah.
Voted for ATM.
Who are they? But only seat, no?
Very sober. Well, they've had seats before. They still have seats now. It was quite sad for me. You know, people that don't really watch your content but think they know you. When we started dropping politicians this year, I got many people in various comments. Hey, Baba, you must sit with Vuyo Zungula. Hey, you must sit with... I'm like, I fucking sat with Vuyo Zungula.
But those are new people.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, sure.
It's like, to go to the platform, it's upset with I can't tell you everything. But maybe the lesson there, I remember Offense Mwase, Uncle Scrooge, speaking about the concept of bringing back old episodes.
Yeah.
Now, you don't want to bring back an old episode as is. I'm not sure how. Number one, when we do old episodes, classics, as an example, maybe do a black and white finish, and also maybe not do the whole episode and do like highlights and add things, I don't know, to be like throwback would be something to consider. But I remember Offense saying, sometimes we bring old episodes that did well and we still get views. I'm just not sure how the YouTube algorithm punishes or not.
Yeah.
And I remember seeing a TikTok of this guy saying, if you've made a video and you think it's important, an important video or a great video, repost it as many times as you can. Because it's like, it took my one video, let's say for example, it was on the 40th time I posted it that it blew up and became viral. And I'm like, I always knew this video was going to do well. Because you might have posted it at the wrong time, at the what. You bring a Vuyo Zungula during elections, now people are watching because of the relevance. It's like, sometimes people post, like when a celebrity's passed on, people will bring old pictures of when they were the celebrity. If ever, you did podcasts, not out of prostituting the person, but to almost highlight, when we said these are some of the dope things this person has said on platforms, from a views perspective, it will do well because it's relevant.
You're right.
At the time.
I'm thinking about if we dropped that piece, I'll tell you now. Joshua Maponga.
Sure.
Bob Joshua, where there's a part where he's warning Cyril.
Sure.
Imagine if we dropped that last week.
Just that short
clip.
Right after elections with coalition.
Khohla.
Warning to Cyril Ramaphosa.
Yeah. It would be a powerful one. Because it was going to be like almost an open letter to Cyril. If we posted that, yeah. So there is merit in that.
Talipani, Banks.
Q's favorite.
It's become a mate. What a brilliant human being, man. Brilliant human being. I also get excited when I meet some of these people. So, Utalipani had been put on me by a mate, Tulani. Let me not fuck up with Tulani's surname. I think it's Tambuza.
I need to charge my phone.
This is why I wanted to get the person's name. You know, people take their names seriously because, people reference. I don't know if you know. Tulani Tambuza. He'd be like, I think you'd like this. Oh, this was way before I sat down with him. As I speak about names and why it's important, I've had certain important people send me messages with a short clip where we speak about them. Some of them are clarifying something that was not really true.
Yeah.
Some of them have been like, we should sit for coffee or whatever. People take those things seriously. When you mention someone's name and getting it correct and not what. So, Talipani was pretty dope. Bobby. Bobby and I would go on to create content on unapologetic on Mid-Mac Motors. Stoic. Proper stoic. Bulgarian Baba. This is a proper mensch. Proper businessman. He's built a monster.
Him and I love men who like they just believe in that effect. I just need to work, man.
I must actually invite his team to sit with us. He works with Vince and Elsie. They're actually
Vince was
brilliant.
in studio when we were shooting there.
They're brilliant.
Hey.
Maybe not so much on camera, but fair to you know one of the things you can't capture, and it's sad, but maybe it's just a part of life. Maybe not everything is meant to be on camera.
Sure.
The chats that myself, Bobby, Elsie, and Vince have off camera before we film, absolute gold. Absolute gold. Whenever I visit them in Pretoria, I go away there like Nyapaza.
Yeah.
Because there's certain chats we have that are, you can't buy them.
I need to charge my phone, pen.
Is it getting flat?
Yeah.
What percent?
26.
26 is fine.
It's off and done.
At 26?
Yeah, I started this chat at 36.
Oh, you're fine. When it gets to 15, you'll charge. When it gets to, we're gonna finish quick. We're about to get into the politicians. Wabu you Ike? Ike always deviates. You know, when I invited him here, I wanted to speak about the legal system. No, you know, out in jail. I want to need to and you're like, no, Ike, come on, to be professional. Anyways,
I'm laughing because of the latest app that's gonna come.
Sat with Dr. Bonke Sumbulu.
Amazing.
I remember her crying. Amazing. And one of the, small pieces of feedback, because she spoke about her mother. She lost her mother to cancer.
Yeah.
Being vulnerable. I'm not Oprah, bro. I'm not here to get people crying. But for people to feel safe enough, especially a woman, to be vulnerable and to be handled with that care and sensitivity. And the feedback she gave me was, her father watched and he was like, thank you so much, Michael, for representing our family so well. You're like, sometimes you forget when you're sitting with the person. You've spoken about I'm out as a tembi. It's like, say, I'm going to do black pen. And you're like, yeah, no, I'm no black pen. No, man, Antoine. What's a black pen?
Yeah.
And then an episode drops with me and you.
Yeah.
Like, black pen. So for some people, like, you take this for granted. Again, the platform, the people it reaches, the brand leverage that I see myself, my child, my person with what are considered big names for some people is big. I've been on the Joe Rogan Experience where there's been Elon Musk and Kanye West, and so I'm amongst. You feel like I'm worthy, and I know this was a conversation you and I have had about bringing celebrities and high-profile people versus ordinary.
Ordinary.
Yeah, and I hear you, but it's a conversation because at some point. The audience starts saying, man, who's this Pokemon? And you're like, no, it's not like this. Like, you can't have ba.
And then let's
do come on, Penuel show. And I'm like, what do you mean? Penuel show. And you're like, yeah, that's where we have the conversation of Dwana. I don't think this is the brand we're trying to create. And I'm happy to just have a ordinary chat that does low views, just to bring it back to this is actually what we're about.
You know what's crazy on Apenzo, and I think you might have that gift. I think if you sit with some of these celebs, we wanna see them differently.
As long as they don't come with agendas.
They won't.
You never know.
No, even if they do, you've got the ability to change it accordingly.
I'll tell you what being in podcasting and reading comments and getting feedback has done to me, which makes me half sad. I keep quiet more. I listen more. I allow people to own their narrative more versus driving it, which I can do. So you come here, I'm like, no, I hear you, but I want us to speak about your childhood. Because sometimes, guests get carried away and then I bring them back to a journey. I don't need to let them run. I can shut them down quick. I just want to ask, when you guys went to court, what was going on? Now, whatever he wanted to say, even if he wants, I understand Ingane, but I don't think I'm the right platform to speak about Ingane. I want to speak about the process.
Okay.
But what's happened is I kind of allow people to come say their thing, which you just never know, and maybe it comes with experience. When to let them go, when to reel them back.
Yeah.
We had Ike Kumalo recently. So we had Ike recently, right? And Ike we are paid. And I'm like, hey, Baba. There's a part where I even apologize on camera to say on behalf of. Later on in the evening, he sends me a message like, hey, Fetu, thank you for protecting me against myself. Fetu, yeah, I'm saying, hey, I see what this hey. So, anyways, this was the first time I was being interviewed. You interviewed me.
Yeah.
We spoke about I think Podcast and Chill. They'd been trolling us at some point. There was that. We had a heart-to-heart, etc. That was dope for me. And some people were like, "Hey, Baba, Pen, go to your seat, Baba. We don't know what's this." We had Musi Maimani. I enjoyed that chat.
We changed the look and feel as well.
The look and feel. There's a part there at the end on the way. It's just a slider. When we still had money.
Slider. It's corner boy.
Corner slider. People of South Africa.
No, sliders.
Hey, I'm sure now when you watched it, he was like, yes.
You know, but I'm
other politicians were probably watching that saying, get us on that platform. Get us on that fucking Penuel show.
I see Shine, but it was there. Yo, shiny short and simple blind.
Spoke to Mustafa, spoke about his trip to China. Very educational. We spoke about the idea of doing a China trip, which never happened. You know, there have been certain ideas that have come up here.
Yeah, I remember.
It's just because we don't have a team like that. And sadly, maybe it's also our fault. Maybe to have like, not chillers, but to have almost like I don't know if you'd call it a WhatsApp group of loyalists to the channel who are devoted to the channel. Who, if people come in and troll and you kick them out. But for the rest, they're like, guys, we're going to share the episodes. We're going to talk about the episodes. And if there's ever extra work, dubbing, interpretation, certain editing, we'll do it. Maybe that's, I don't know if we'll do it, but we've had certain cool ideas. We had not Codesa. Was it Codesa? But the youth. We spoke about the youth. Forget Codesa 2.0.
Which one?
No, I think the idea you're talking about was you guys starting like a sort of like a group of sorts.
A conference, like a BRICS, but for young people.
Yeah.
The other thing was traveling to China. And it never happened because CPZ and. But if you have a team, it's like they won't make it, but we're going to make it happen.
Yeah.
Pen and Mustafa spoke about a trip to China. If you guys are keen, it's going to cost 50,000. You can start saving money. You can take out a loan. We've got a stock fail. We're planning to go in June 2025. Hopefully, Amachita can make it. If not, we're still going. And we'll be like, this was the Penuel show trip to China.
Yeah.
If you get what I'm saying.
I get you.
Do you know if the chillers market still happens? Are you guys chillers?
No.
Doesn't happen.
I don't know.
And some of these things is where we lack collaboration. Just as people. There was the brown sense market.
Yeah.
You want brown sense with Tumzuzugile Sony.
Yeah.
You've got a brown sense market. Don't reinvent the wheel. You take podcast and chillers. You sit with Tumzuzugile Sony, you're like, Fetu, we'd like to partner with you. So that you keep doing your thing, but just fag somewhere. So if you're so podcaster, sleta my chillers, and then benefit it together. Because you're already doing this thing. Because it's work for us. But for you, it's a thing where your valley. Which I wanted to do with Uluyanda Chafter because of the People's Fund. You've already got a fund. It's trusted, it's verified, it's legit. You've got a market, you've got clients. All you do is in this fund, like Holland and Kaizer Chiefs, have like under the People's Fund, we've got a Penuel fund. We've got a Patu fund. And the reason we have this Patu fund is for kids who want to resell Patu or kids that want to buy shares in Patu. We've got a More Fire fund. We've got a podcast fund. We already do this work.
Yeah,
we'll get like a small fee. You guys just come and brand this thing as yours. And on your platforms, be like, say, guys, please click on Hot if you want to join our fund. It's already there.
Yeah, and to get your mind.
Funukshay property, a casino ball is there. Funukshay a shoe. Kulume no leak out. It's excellent. And a Penuel shoe. My intellectual, Abuyi Penuel show. That's collaboration. What we about Matondo?
Yeah.
Always with the wisdom. I had Slim, Black Slim, Mawisa.
Yeah, Slim.
He had a lacquer piece that trended on social media about fear. And he made the example of Crazy 8.
Yeah.
But the way we are conditioned as Otaki, even in something as silly as a card game, you keep your special cards.
Okay.
You keep them close to your chest and you only use them in times of emergency. Whereas Ungamla from the gate,
Same time
Uchijelo too, yeah, jump. Like, hey,
Yeah.
keep those. Like, no.
Why?
High risk.
Same time.
That was dope.
Yeah.
That was really dope.
Dope lesson, man. And I'm actually about their own risk, man. Well, a lot of people generally don't want to risk.
Sure.
And it's such a bad thing, man. You can't exist because you want to be comfortable. Because the thing about the risk is comfort.
But it starts with small things like card games, bungee jumping, but I'm going skydiving. If you do those things, you're ridding yourself of fear.
Yeah. You have to risk, man. Most of you are weak. Oh.
Yeah, Pumagele episode much later, Oli.
Yes.
By the time this came to he was like, you know what?
5-6 ep in from
Uma.
Dr. Uma.
I trust what he watched the episode and he really, really enjoyed it. And he thanked me, and that was pretty dope. I think I shared it with you guys as the crew.
Always such an amazing director. I worked with him on Mam Kize.
What's that show called?
Mam Kize show. Which one?
Mam Kize.
The latest one.
No. Back then, what was it called?
What was Mam Kize show?
Kwamam
Mam
Kize.
Kize, yeah.
That was the name of the show. Kwamam Kize.
Mam Kize. Worked with him on Somizi.
Living the Dream with
Living
Somizi.
the Dream, and then with Bonang as well.
Bonang.
Amazing director. I think that's another side lots of people don't know about.
Shit. Now I have to rewatch that.
You're shy.
I once went to visit to Oli. So I've sat with Oli and I've sat with you. Because at some point I wanted to have my own reality show. You gave me shit advice. I appreciate it, but pop advice, whatever. Oli Fetz, I went to visit him, Fetz, and he gave me so many gems on reality TV. He raised a lot of the things you raised. But unlike you, because when I think you believe a lot in pitching, Oli was like, if you really believe in this thing, like, make it happen. Like what we were saying about directors. And let people buy into it. From there, it becomes easy to sell. He's done the same thing with the music industry. I once spoke to him about music, and he told me his views on how to do music in this country. I remember Offense also posting on socials about music, saying, release music on SoundCloud and those things. This was a couple of years back. Release. Any song that peaks a bit, share video. Musuk jahi video. Release it
The first thing is that
video. It's a strategy. Some people might disagree, but it's like, this is what I've seen works. And I mean, Scrooge, is a king of music videos.
Yeah.
So.
True.
Rutendo Matinyarare.
Back again.
Yes, the DA plus EFF will bring back apartheid. Here's a little caption there. And then the DA goes and gets into a coalition, national unity with the ANC.
Yeah, a coalition that needs cost to understand what people signed. But anyway, it is what
Melody Mia. We had Melody for a short time. I see here 1 hour 8.
Hey, that's short.
He needs to come back. I think why busy because Melody fete we are span Melody. I want to bring him back. And the other thing is, I'll tell you with some of these guests that I know personally, they sit here and they talk, and I know the type of conversation I've had with them, and I'm not happy. But I'm like, first sit down. For some people, I guess, they don't know if they'll ever get a chance to sit again.
Yeah.
So they try to say a lot where you want them to come back, but relax. There's one of the future episodes with Clifton, who when he came here, very resistant. I think Ursula Mariani as well, very resistant. She hadn't really gotten to know me. I've sat with Clifton Twana and Ndlovu drops bombs. But he needs to be comfortable. He's not used to being on camera. But once you're a bit more comfortable and you've seen comments, you also know how to manage yourself. Usisi Tumeleng, I actually need to check up on her. Sekupedi spoke about the definition of beauty and redefining beauty.
Yeah.
Her confidence is out of this world.
Another level. Sure.
And she's really achieved what many girls wish for. Amazing husband, beautiful family, thriving in business, even though she got burnt as a child. Yeah, man. Shout out to Tumeleng. This episode was shadow banned by YouTube. I remember we got warnings. That's why, as much as it's got 77,000 views, it should have done much better. 3 hours, 21 minutes. Uwaras was meant to leave early on this day. I think it was Wakumula Nehudi.
Yeah, Zangatu, you used to take a flight.
Kanti wakumnandi baba la. Like say, Baba, you're not leaving. No, Pen, it's fine. Let's keep going.
Yeah, what is of that?
Pubesi Leli, Grace Chabesi.
Grace story is amazing.
Grace is just an amazing chap, and he's living He's living at the ultimate level, I think, of life. Travels around the world, doing different things, investing in different businesses, works with various geniuses around the world. Umchida's living the dream of any human. He's rich, he's mobile, he's a minimalist, he's not held by material possessions. Yeah.
You know his story, them doing, when I was in Cape Town.
Sure.
I'm a computer, writing on my desk.
Sure.
Yeah, if there's one thing that has remained consistent with success, is those early stages, man, where you're just not sleeping. And how he speaks about his early childhood, in fact. He was like I made a plan. Being on a choice.
Those early stages, I think I like referencing old Jewish businessmen.
Yeah.
And a few black ones. Amapunu, maybe not so much. When you've been playing the business game for a long time, you start picking up threads. It's like investing. You get to a point where you're like, no, this business will work. This business won't work. Why? I'm looking at some of the fundamentals. For example, I met Lintwana. He's got a good business, but he loves money and he loves girls. I heard him speak. It's not going to last. How did you know? I saw those things. This light, why did you say this light? I saw him. He works. Into any business, there were problems. He got in a bus. He traveled. He was in a train. He slept on the floor. I was like, I'm investing in this guy. This is where certain investors invest in the person, not the business.
And not the business, yeah.
They're like, I don't care if this guy loses my money. I want to be a part of his journey. I can see this guy is going to be a problem. Aye. It might not be this business. It might be the third, the fourth, the fifth. And to be honest, even if we never make money, Faith, he just reminds me of something. And in his journey, it might not be him. He might introduce me to the light that's going to make me a lot of money. So people like Gray or see, you realize from a young age, Faith were hustling. We take say, this guy's going to make it regardless. Even though Clifton, from a young age, this guy was going to make it. Bongani Baloyi, I really enjoyed this chat. Oof. It's so sad that Shiluba didn't do well at the elections. But politics is a money game. I enjoyed speaking to Bongani very much. Spuda, oi.
I'm trying to remember what I remember about Bongan. The whole idea of the power of language. And he made the simple example of drugs. Like he says, in English they say you're taking drugs. Then he says in his Zulin,
Itagamizwa.
What if you do a direct translation, it's very deep,
Sure. Updag was the drunkenness of imizwa.
Like he said, your emotions, your spirit, imizwa again. Yeah.
Something like that. The drunkenness of your consciousness.
Yeah.
That's what this thing is doing. It's getting your consciousness drunk. It's dagamizwa.
Yeah. If you think about it from a Sotho Pedi side, it's like the ritifatsi. It's this thing that's killing your spirit and is going to put you down.
That's what this thing is.
So, yeah, man, when he made those examples of the power of language, man, it's almost like even when you're doing all these things, you listen to it even more. Because if now it's being said in your mother tongue. There's something powerful about it. So, yeah, I really
we started getting a golden thread. Bongani Baloyi, Herman Mashaba, maybe not so much Musi Maimane, of the reasons they left the DA. Herman Mashaba was trying to empower places like Alex.
Yeah.
And the DA was not feeling it. Bongani Baloyi, I don't know if it's Stelo or maybe the township in his area then. Is it midstream, midval, whatever? Okay. No, midval, not midstream.
Yeah.
But he was saying, there was also pushback to say, why the focus here? Like, but these are my people. No, Tina, we need you to focus here, Chief. You're like, Wabuyu Sbuda, dropping bombs as always. What feel like Kogi coat? Branding usbuda. Yonke into waba branding.
He said he comes from the lab when he came here. Hey, that's Buddha.
This was a nice catch up with Usbu. I think we hadn't seen each other for a while.
Yeah.
At this point.
I like what he's doing now. I think I sent you a voice note. Whatever he's doing with SAFM, I don't know what type of deal it is.
Radio 2000.
Radio 2000, sorry. They do the normal show, but the things that they shoot goes on his personal platform.
I think it's probably a deal they did.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you this, because Usbu wanted to bring me on when he goes back to radio. I think he also wanted to bring on Umandisa.
Okay.
It's this thing of, I'd like to come back to radio. It's my first love. But can we do things a bit different? Because I'm coming from podcasting and alternative, and I can tell you some of the criticisms I've been hearing. And part of it, I mean, many podcasts have influenced radio in the sense that radio is no longer just voice. They film now. Yeah. Whether it's Abo Kaya, Abo Anele, Abo 702, they now film as well. So I think Usbu was also coming with this thing of, maybe Joe Rogan and Spotify, don't limit me here, because I can tell you now, yes, we've got your listenership, but I can bring a new audience if you allow me to go there and then bring them here. Kind of situation. And let's do a cross-sell of sorts. I think it might be that.
Stop.
Joshua Maponga. Joshua Maponga is one of the reasons I went into podcasting from a guest perspective. He's one of the people that from when I started, I'm like, I can't wait to sit with Joshua, because I've sat with Joshua on different platforms at different times. And I'm a fan. I'm literally a fan of listening to their time. I was nervous about him coming through because I didn't know how it was going to go, because we've chatted so much. But I need to bring him back. You know the reason why Joshua doesn't come here regularly? And he's not the only guest. There's a lot. I just don't invite them as much.
So
it's as simple as that.
Issue.
It's not ubafuna ukuzwakala. For example, I could invite Sbu here more regularly.
Yeah.
It's just me. Sbu, are you available? My man, anytime, let's rock. Urutendo, at least I've invited him a lot of times, but it's because also when he comes with the information, it's normally, say, next time when you come, let's do the history of Ethiopia or something. And there's a lot of guests also I owe revisits.
It's definitely going to be in our top 3 very soon.
Over 500,000 views, Maponga.
Very soon.
A warning to colonial beneficiaries. Mpho Dagada. I was surprised by this episode. Mpho was speaking by himself. Mpho was speaking by himself here. And I was just, Umchita came here with a tablet. I'm like, it was a campaign, but what telling you?
283.
And many people fell in love with Mpho here.
Right.
I think, like who DJ, not DJ Sbu, like who Vusi Tembegwayo, I think Mpho Dagada needs to take this episode for himself. Chop it into many different bits and just drop it at random times.
It seems like he has that ability in a platform,
because he's gone into podcasting as well.
Yeah.
Sad story. Mpho Dagada starts his podcast. I'm one of the first few guest invites.
Sure.
One of the best interviews I think I've done, if I may say so myself, because some of the things I was saying, because I'm getting Vugelo Moya, speaking about colonizers and the economy and what, it was dope.
Sure.
One of the gents in the crew, they broke into his car. I think they stole his laptop and what, episode gone.
It was your app. You've told us the story. Hey, son.
But it's also a lesson. Sizwe, I forgot even now. I need to record on my phone audios of whatever content I record, because content chucks.
I think not we must, especially with that other Zoom recorder. Separate, sis.
Just as a backup, so at least we have the audio.
Because Nati will fallen victim.
We've lost one episode. One.
Fallen victim.
One.
Yeah.
One of my favorite episodes, which will never be seen.
Yes.
Sitting with Dan Corder.
Oh, man.
I went and I sat with him on Dope Conversations. I was so glad that he was
available,
willing and what, but heartbreaking. But one episode out of 100, look, we'll take it. But it's it hurts. It hurts nonetheless.
Very much painful.
Hey, this time it's Kulumang about 4:10. Ka. Look, we can laugh about it now, man, but Nhlanhla Lux fethu wafika ngamasimba. Nhlanhla Lux wafika ngamasimba. I was on the cover of newspapers at a time when we were speaking about the lack of youth leadership.
Yeah.
Lux reminded us to say there are young, hungry, fire-breathing people who are unapologetic and brave. I think he won so many of our hearts over. I sat with him, I had chats, we sat with Usbuda, I did some work with him, I visited his home, I got to know his family. When this explosion thing happened, people were trolling him, but it could have been anything.
Yeah.
It could have been a small mhlampe firework, a cherry bomb, but it could have been a warning of something else. And when you have a family and you're living like that, even umuntu ofika nje azothi hey Lux ungathuka I think I need security.
True.
Because he was operating in a space where with Operation Dudula there was heat with foreigners. He was going against Omalema and stuff, and there are fanatics out there that can get you in trouble. Lapo, he loves guns, he's militant, he says whatever he wants. There were AK-47s, wafiko bheka to his home, etc. And then it disappeared after that 4 story. And I was worried about him. I check up on him.
Yeah.
But he was like, no pen, I'm good, bro. I'm like, sure. We check up on each other. We'd have some late phone calls. He came back later speaking about the Nhlanhla Lux Foundation, moving away from Operation Dudula.
Yeah.
I think this was one of the sit-downs, Guti. I'm not with Operation Dudula. I'm doing my own thing. We're focusing on Soweto Parliament, which I also think is kind of taken the foot off the pedal of the Soweto Parliament. Then he focused on the drug rehab, which I thought was beautiful.
Yeah.
But I told him, to go do this thing, but the people of Soweto need you. And I think, you need to rise louder as a Soweto leader. But something
happened.
I don't know what happened. But there was like a shift in the energy and the mood.
Yeah.
And then just before elections, he's campaigning hard for the ANC. I was sad and disappointed. People were like, for money. I was like, outside of a lot of things, bro, like, even if he was campaigning for the ANC, not the way he was campaigning, at least for me. He could have been like, guys, I've called out these old people and I've said we need young leaders and whatnot, but looking at all the options that are out there and speaking to people on the streets, I've been asked to back the ANC, so I'm going to be backing the ANC. I'm going to be doing door-to-doors with them, but I'm aware that in the past I'd said these things. Yeah. But he just came out guns blazing. The ANC is the only option. What? I'm like, this looks like performance now.
Yeah.
Have you been performing this whole time? And I've never spoken about it. And around those times, I think I released a video or a post about my disappointment.
Yeah.
And I remember he tried to call me twice, and I was busy at the time. I think we were filming. But I just also didn't want to speak to him because it was close to elections and everything was high emotions.
You want to sit with him again? To figure out what maybe have changed or something?
I don't want to sit with him to discuss that.
Oh, okay, sure.
I'm happy to. I think I even sent a voice note after those missed calls to be like, hey, Lux, I hope you're good. I hope the family's good. I'm like, just let me know when you're free, we can chat.
Sure.
As long as we're not chatting ANC and we're not chatting politics and elections.
Sweet. Done. Hopefully he comes back. And
no, he doesn't have to come back. This is just
follow on as much. Yeah. And his tone was different. I remember this sit down. His body language. I remember saying after he left, I'm like, it seems like Lux is disappointed in black people. It seems like they probably have let him down, man. Because of probably the push that guy was pushing. He felt like he was disappointed by something.
A part of me made me wonder if he was threatened.
Yeah.
Because when someone changes, it could be one of three things. It could be, I've been threatened, or I've been captured with money, or number 3, I've introspected. And I've just decided to shift.
Yeah.
What would be nice, which I normally appreciate from people, is to just announce. Because there are many people you've convinced about a lot of things. Just announce. It's like, say, I'm no longer pro-black. I'm now, Pen, what do you mean? If it buy black, sure. That was me, if I own. I'm not your flip-flopper, you've sold out. I've given you like, no Gamlas gave me money. I'm no longer pro-black. I'm not, and these are the reasons. Yeah. And I'll say it over and over until hopefully you get it. Very special episode.
This was long.
3 hours, 30 minutes. So this is officially our longest. But the one with Waras as one guest, 321. This 330 where we had Sizwe, Khomutso, Q. Khomutso and Q, it was their first time on camera, I think, for us. The Q story really touched a lot of people.
Yeah.
I learned a lot about Q in that sit down. If you appeal on Chita, but there are things you actually don't know about the O. This was special. Just the Penuel show crew. Us speaking about the work we do, guys sharing their views, etc. Yeah. There are people that were really captured by this interview with Princess Mthombe.
Yeah, 170.
Intelligent woman, brave, speaking about nuclear, traveling the world, etc. That was pretty dope. Did the electricity chuck during this episode?
Was it the lightning?
I think electricity.
With Princess?
Yeah. Something happened. Electricity left.
It tripped.
Yeah. Okay. Say something.
And then after that, we had Ursula Mariani. I bumped into her at Daily Theatre. I went up to her, we had a chat, and then I invited her. Ursula tells me now after that she was not sure about coming here. She's like, she told people about Penuel, they're like, hey, don't go to that guy. So she wasn't really sure what to expect. And that's why even in the sit down when you watch, she's a bit hesitant at the beginning. But then she met the crew, she looked at our work, she was like, nah, this is too dope.
Yeah.
I was then invited to her platform, and now I've got a relationship with her.
Dope.
Ubonga, Ugiven, that she works with.
Dope.
Uyaya.
Hey, yeah, story is painful.
Did we move some of these episodes around
What do you mean?
at the time? I'm just trying to remember, because this is recent. Yeah, Uyaya's story is painful.
Very.
And Uyaya is strong, bro. Uyaya is strong. You know, even when we were sitting here and at times when I've bumped into her, that I stare into Uyaya's eyes and I don't know. Because I try to figure out, like, the things you've been through, I don't know if you still have emotions. But Uyaya is kind, loving, and I'm like, hey, I don't know, man. I don't know. But shout out to Uyaya, man. And she was very happy with the episode. I owe David Ansara a follow-up. I said me and him must debate capitalism.
I don't watch this app.
Hey, David. What's the right way to put it, sis? He's a very formal guy, and he only answers what is asked. So it's not conversation like, yeah, hey, bro, what? You ask him a question like, so what we did was blah, 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 blah. Okay. So, what? Yeah? No, we definitely did that. Full stop. And you're like, arr. Yeah. But a very good educational episode from the Free Market Capitalism. Free Market Foundation.
The foundation.
Yeah. See, I came back. I think it started losing weight here. I want to have gone down.
Yeah, this is where you dropped everything, Baba.
Oh, this is where we spoke about amazamazam.
Everything. A cucumber, a veggie, everything.
Yeah, he spoke about Atomic Habits.
Yeah, no.
Atomic Habits, the
book. Yeah.
Yeah, he spoke about some other hacks. See, Afet wakes up every morning at 5 and he reads. Yeah. Current affairs, then he reads a book. He believes in exercise. Umchita's constantly working on himself like a machine.
He said he hates Atomic Habits. I know there's a famous book that he said that it doesn't make sense. I think it was Atomic Habits. He was saying there was it Atomic Habits or 5 a.m. Club? There was a famous book that was like, that thing is bullshit, man.
The one thing me and him...
It was a 5 a.m. Club, no?
Yeah, because he praised the Atomic Habits. From what I remember.
Sure, like...
Yeah, but I know that... Yeah, there was a book that he was like, for nonsense. A very popular... Maybe Oringe 5 a.m. It's Atomic Habits. He was saying that you just need one thing and not a lot of
small things.
Yeah, I think it was Atomic Habits. Yeah.
I'm not sure.
But yeah.
Also,
between 5 a.m. and Atomic Habits, yeah.
One other, okay.
Yeah.
Penson came back. This is what I'm remembering, the unprofessionalism. But I remember Penson getting emo here when I spoke about my son Uzulu that I don't have access to. Hey, he got a bit emo. I almost thought he was going to ask us to cut.
Yeah.
Hey, Penson emotional, Baba.
But you know when he spoke about it off camera, what was hitting him? Because I asked him like what was it? He was like, Penuel, I know him more than this whole world.
Sure.
So I know how deep some of these things cut him. So yeah, I know that was a powerful moment, in fact,
Because he's been there. He's been there at the mom's house with the cops, with the cops refusing to arrest, and the mom there, and my brother being like, what's happening here is bullshit.
Yeah.
My brother's driven 300 kilometers fighting just to be a father to his son, and I'm watching this live. Because I remember having to calm him down. It's like, people don't understand. They troll him on social media and they talk shit. They're like, you guys don't know that my brother's actually a loving The guy loves his kids. And some of these things, in fact, defend because you're projecting your own shit. Because your father or your baby daddy is a piece of shit. Now you're projecting it on my brother. Yeah. My brother's not your father. My brother's not your fucking baby daddy. My brother actually loves his children.
Dope gent, yeah.
So,
that's nice.
Tate Herman Mashaba, Mashapes.
What do you tell us about your family? No, the ANC. How can my family grow? I'm like, primary robot.
Utu Herman, if he became president, he'd arrest Cyril Ramaphosa.
He's so robotic. He
is robotic, but he's a legend. He's a business legend. This is where we started tailoring political content, number one. And now I'm looking at the scrolling down here. This is the influence of
Shorts.
Club Shay Shay, Shannon Sharp, and Cat Williams.
Yeah.
One of the, when we speak about podcasting, there have been episodes around the world that have been game changers. It could be Elon Musk smoking weed on the Joe Rogan Experience. It could be Podcast and Chill with Israel Matseke Zulu.
Yeah.
It could be whatever, man.
There was an Elon Musk. Oh yeah, you mentioned the Elon Musk. There was a Jordan Peterson one as well. I don't know which platform it was. That like when Chris Paddy
Sure. So Club Shay Shay if to set with Cat Williams and it fucked the podcast game up.
Yeah.
Now outside of Cat Williams trolling a lot of celebrities and what. The other thing is Club Shay Shay grew his subscribers immensely. Number two, he did cut clips. And those clips went crazy.
Yeah. And
they ended up saying, I don't know if did he make $1 million? Yes. There were rumors around making $1 million off this one episode. We weren't the only ones to be influenced because we were also experimenting. But it was this idea that not everyone's going to watch the whole thing. Sometimes you want to take out the bits. And Joe Rogan's had short clips before. But I think Podcast and Chill, some of the other podcasts started also. And I'm like, we have to give this to Shannon Sharp.
Yeah.
This was him.
And what was dope about him was that it was based on the celebrity that they were talking about.
Yeah. P. Diddy, Steve Harvey, Kevin Hart, Cat Williams, but telling you. And Kevin Fetwa Shisa for a while because he was back to back.
It was too much.
And then he was invited by Unkulunkulu. And then I realized, this is why this guy is my ultimate podcaster. Joe Rogan, my understanding, he doesn't write trends. My understanding. That's why he's turned down about Donald Trump and other people. Cat Williams goes crazy on Club Shay Shay. Next thing I see him on the Joe Rogan Experience, I'm like, is Joe Rogan doing this thing now, writing trends? So I'm waiting to hear because everyone's like, hey, Cat Williams is bringing the latest kaka. It's dropping files. As soon as they start, they're speaking about the planets and the Garden of Eden. I'm like, this is Joe Rogan.
Yeah. You thought he was going to do this.
That thing he was saying about bringing celebrities, Terrence Howard on Joe Rogan comes there with patents, speaking about science and the table of elements. You're like, okay. What's
crazy about that with Joe Rogan and Terrence was the fact that this guy's been saying this for 10 years. Not apparently, because once you watch that clip, you see another one of him in Harvard. Then you watch another clip of him in some business school. Like 5 years ago, 6 years ago, you're like, wait, man.
This guy's been at it.
So, that moment of Terrence, man, that was a powerful moment.
We don't have an American audience and culture in South Africa. Many people, some of them that I bring on my platform are being interviewed like this for the first time ever. They've never been interviewed by newspaper, by TV. It's their first time being interviewed, and it's also in the manner. So they don't really know. They don't have that finesse. You know that divorce lawyer that started off on soft white underbelly, but then he's been on every other platform.
Yeah.
Now, we are telling them cheat. In America, they've got this culture, and I remember Wide Awake podcast, Josh Rubin in Cape Town. One of the things he said is, the difference between us and America is he'll interview gang leaders in the Cape. It's the first time they're being interviewed. In America, you're interviewing someone who's on their 100th podcast. They've fine-tuned what they say, what they know, trends, the story people want to hear, and. I'm saying this from a perspective of it's going to be nice once we have the type of guests that come with an agenda, that come with questions, that come with stories. So when they pull through here, I want to speak about this thing. Have you ever realized that when you do the data, like, Indians, when you travel around South Africa, there's this habit they do, and and now you're
intrigued.
They do that, and then they give you intel. No, the thing is, if you're looking for 50 million, there's a way to cheat the bank. If you fill in this form and then you switch it off, and then you're like, yep, Eumchi just plugging us, and then just story. I think I might have been 14 when my dad came home. It was 4 o'clock in the morning. He's like, kuku. And you're like, okay. You know, from a storytelling perspective, we're coming to it. No, I'll wait. But yeah, Mbuso Khoza. Sislelo N came through. I enjoyed this episode. This was an educational episode.
Yeah, very educational.
This was nice. So it wasn't conversation, but more educational. Here.
I think if she comes back again, she's gonna be more relaxed.
I hope so. Yeah, she was a bit.
Yeah.
While we hear Faith, I need to give a shout out. I don't give him enough props. David Mashabela, King David Studio.
David Studio. She's guest.
Because we speak about all these podcasts. David is, well, besides being a radio legend, he got into podcasting for the right reasons. His why is dope, and he's doing his thing. His whole thing coming into podcasting was, there's a lot of legends whose stories don't get told, and I want to archive. So I'm going to invite Brahuma Segela, Kefas Mania, and we're just going to sit for 2-3 hours and just speak about the work they've done, so that, not for anything, but for archiving, so that the story is there, because we don't have enough archives of, no one actually knows how Tribal Media House was. I'm going to invite you, Debs, and not because I want views or I want to sense. It's like, I just want the day Tribal blows up or it gets shut down or something happens to Debs. It's like, no, I want to set with this guy, archive. Yeah. So you guys can pick up from here.
We're speaking to Sis about that platform. High sits with legends, man. Yo, I watched one Nhlanhla Lux. Yo, I ain't writing lentwana. Yo, mnandi. Even the actors that he gets.
Sure.
No, man, he has a gap.
His why is very powerful, and I love it.
It's a powerful gap.
So I brought politicians to Sbu, I'd like to think.
Yeah.
From Herman Mashaba to, you know, because Usbu was the hustler's corner. It was like saying, this is your platform now. Nicolette Mashile. I'm a politician, and the vibe changed. And then he also at the same time was bringing African spirituality, and those kind of things. So we brought a different vibe. We influenced, and I'm still going to say this, people can whatever, we influenced our podcast and chill to be like, consider this. Young people like, why don't you consider these people?
Okay, sure.
And I think even with the content that we've done, even last year and this year, I do believe some of the podcasts, including, and look, if I'm wrong, it's fine. They'll say, I swear.
Yeah.
But not David Mashabela, because again, archiving, you see when a person deviates and they're interviewing politicians to ask about the elections and what, and you're like, okay, sure. Someone like Sizwe Mpho, I won't necessarily say we influence like that, even though he came later, but he's always been about political content. He's an academic, so it was the content that made sense for him, you know. But maybe it was good to be like, hey, so people do listen to. It doesn't have to be that boring.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
And people are
you and I sat and gave and spoke about the political landscape.
2024, our predictions and
Yeah. 1 hour 4 minutes, not long. Rutendo came. This was the last time I sat with Rutendo and we had a debate here. I was like, "Let's go to South Africa."
I wasn't here.
Even after this, to this day, South Africans are like, "Stop bringing Rutendo." And I would love to sit with Rutendo, but I would need him before we sit. I don't like censoring people, but I'd need him to commit to maybe not touch on South African politics and to try not attack South African people, because he's done it. We know, and he can always do it on his platforms. But to be like, Ntwana, can we just do history, intel, because he still owes me a conversation. There's one conversation that every time we sit, I raise it and we never...
Which is?
Who owns the South African economy?
Oh.
And to be honest, I must maybe go try and find... There's a video he once did on the people that own the South African economy and maybe use that as a template.
Okay.
But then not speak about the ANC, not speak about ZANU-PF, not speak about South Africans being lazy, because it actually really upsets people. And the last thing I want is to create a platform where, let's say, someone says, Zimbabweans are rubbish, and you're like, Fetu, I understand, Kampi, you have an issue, but I don't think I want to create a platform where you can come here, let's say, Umandisa, toxic masculine, you man, you're like, yeah, I don't know if I want to create that type of platform. And if this is the energy of Fiangayo, let's maybe put it to the side. And if you can't, then let's rather not. Asahamba say oranya. Sabuya. Say Orania Sabuya.
People thought we were gonna be eating lapa, shy lapa.
But we came back as gods.
Yo.
Were you guys really in Orania? With those guys, Baba, that went into the battlefields and came back.
Hey, you know how many people like Niada? I remember who made sure we hire some gear from him. It's like, you can't go this, man. No, you can do it, Dibs. No one next week. No. And I think it opened up people's mind. You know, if we do the actual documentary, people are even going to be more shocked. Because this was just a sit down.
Sizwe owes us a documentary.
Yes, Sis.
That's on you?
Yeah.
Is it on your to-do list?
Yeah.
Okay. Sizwe Dube owes us an Orania documentary with some of the footage we've got there. And says if you need script and voice over, at least from me, just let me know of it. Just straight on Karel Boshoff.
Yes. Yo.
It was a good trip.
An amazing trip. And for me, it opened up the idea of us traveling. Because before...
there's so much work we need to do.
Yeah, because before... it took us time to convince you, man. I was like, but let's travel to these people.
I was worried about the look and feel.
So, man. Hey, you guys worry about other things.
You're worried about the look and feel?
Not being in the studio.
So I'll tell you, there are certain conversations with certain people that we'd be forced to travel. And I was like, I don't know if that's what I really want. Or if Ngenkani, these people must come here. So let's say Just comes to Joburg. Then I'm like, let's speak about Orania. Versus us going to Orania.
Ben, you worried about look and feel? Pekale short lem for now.
Yeah, I shot it blind, but that's not the Penuel show. It's not. We have to be honest.
No.
This is like a special edition. But this is not the Penuel show. We have to be honest.
Penuel show originals.
If you want to call it that, Penuel show originals.
Hi, don't have got filmmakers by calling the white boy. That time's cartel and fun. We just did a whole yo. Hey, we're tired.
We deserve to have a lot of money, so that we can do like behind the scenes, what. Because if people look at the setups, the vibes, the chats, those things would be gold.
Now at this time, you're like, like shoot that in. You are busy.
It took long.
It took long.
Even that evening shot, it took long to set up.
Which one?
The Karel Boshoff, I think it took like an hour. Because we left from here to go set up.
Oh, I was tired.
We were tired. It had been a long day. We'd been driving. We'd been around Orania.
Yes.
It was hot. And we were just tired.
But I caught. No, I love these shots, man. God damn, man. Jeez. No, Buffett now shoot a chance.
See ya.
Buffett. Come on, man. Come on, Fit. You can't mess with this, Fit.
Hey, Namapunu, like you say. Wie is hierdie swartes? En hy is so goed. Yeah. The blacks have arrived. Let them know the blacks have arrived. No, this was lekker. Look,
this inspired us, man.
One of the things I appreciate, besides the work we do and the people we sit with and what it does for the audience, is even with some of the guests, Fit. Like, you see it on their faces. Something shifts.
Okay. Yeah.
Something you actually see it in their eyes. Because now they also have their predispositions.
Yeah.
And then you come there and you force them to question what they think they know. The guests themselves, they're just like, hey. You know, sometimes when you're a guest and you ask them something about their childhood and their upbringing, and then you say something, they're like, hey.
Hey, yeah.
Fuck, as if I've never, and you're like, yeah. Now they go home thinking, fuck me. As if I've never actually thought of this.
Yeah, that was with, I remember, Ayanda Ali. We haven't spoken about it here.
Sure.
There was a pattern of the sisters. There was a pattern between the sisters. And she thought about it. And it's like, yeah, maybe it's not a coincidence. Maybe there's something within us. I don't know what it was, but there was a pattern.
Sure.
Yeah, there was a pattern.
I think those things are nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, politics, guys. Karel Boshoff, I'm going to mention with you straight on. We just decided to put Reverend Kenneth Mishwe just for a bit of a different feel. Came through as a legend. So these are probably the chats David Mashabela would do.
Yeah.
It's like, say, you're a legend in politics. Reverend Kenneth Misho, let's hear your story. And he, time of age just comes and chats. His life and the things he's done. That was like, Dr. Baba Buntu.
Hey, Baba Buntu was amazing.
I need to bring him back as soon as possible. So these are some of the Yabo, if we could shoot more than once a week or release more than once a week, it becomes easier to invite some of these people back because at least we can carry on with certain conversations. At the end of this conversation, I asked him for advice. I think when I invite him back, I want to start there and make it personal for me. Cool. Where I was telling him, look, this is the situation I have with my children and the mothers. And as an elder, as a passionate man about black families, just like to hear your thoughts. Judge me, criticize me.
Let's talk about
Of which, look, he's not a judgmental guy, man. He's amazing. You know, when we speak about pro-black activists and Pan-Africanists, he's my favorite because he's all about love. Not I hate these people. Like even the idea of speaking about white people, he doesn't have time for that. It's like, no, I want to speak about my people. No, look at that. No, let's do our thing.
Sure.
And you're like, no, that's dope. And he's about solutions. Ernst Van Zyl came back. I know there was a bit of tension, very slight tension between me and him because
you guys were trending or something. What happened?
I'd left AfriForum as a paying member.
Yeah.
There was the issue with the white genocide and farm murders with Elon Musk and Julius Malema, and he was like, let's sit and chat. And it dispelled a lot of myths, and I apologized accordingly. Some of my sentiments and feelings he did not get rid of, which is okay. That's why I'm no longer a paying member, but I still do randomly donate to AfriForum. Yeah. But I'm happy that he came to answer, and it was a reminder of the danger of propaganda. We shy, even some of us. Yeah. I feel 2 months ago.
You.
Njo mane.
I wanna tamale mfethu. I wanna match storytellers. You. It's a kazini.
He must be in that level of mamgcina mhlophe. He dropped some bombs. People had never heard. You know, some of these things for me, I take for granted because I've heard them so many times. Shaka Zulu was light-skinned. But someone's hearing it for the first time. That was pretty dope.
Oh, the other thing was, he said that it's almost like...
Shaka used the spear and blood to build the Zulu nation. Zulus are violent. Okay.
That is that thing is 8 minutes 42. It's at 113,000
views.
8 minutes.
Hey, Mbuso cause we are a tailor. I've been meaning to say, look, he's not the only one, right? You know, Vetu, there are certain guests. I've got a list that if I could, I'd snap my fingers and I'd sit with them back to back like this, and people would just be like, "Wow, yes." But life happens, and you also bring different dimensions of guests.
Yeah.
But there are certain guests, Vetu, where, hey. I can tell you like stupid story.
Yeah.
Because Umbuso's popular and famous, but there are people that don't know him like that.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't know him. Man.
They don't know him like that.
Yeah.
If you could sit with Aliko Dangote, there'd be a lot of South Africans who'd be like, who's this now?
Nah, a lot of people don't know him, man.
And you're like, this is the wealthiest black man on the planet. You know, we speak about the fastest Usain Bolt and the what. This is the wealthiest black man on planet Earth. And he's the wealthiest man. You can bring white monopoly capital. Ubashaya wonke phansi pubesi. Aliko Dangote.
Yeah.
And then you tell his story from his grandfather, his great-grandfather. And how his grandfather and his father and his mom and his uncle and how they... You're like, no, in fact, if you sat to Dangote and listen to his life story, you'd be like, I can't believe black people can do this.
Mina, that is the one app there, I think... And even if he says just come to Nigeria, how you get there in Angnanda?
We're there. And ask for 3 hours.
5.
While we speak about Dangote, we were invited to sit with Ubabu Jacob Zuma.
Oh yes.
2 days, yes, a day or two before elections.
Yeah. The
concern was that it was short notice. Number one. Number two, they would have wanted us to drop the episode ASAP, which was not going to happen.
Unfortunately. How many days before?
A day or two. Yeah. Of which there were controversies with JJ Tabane and some of the episodes that never came out. People have asked after, because I've spoken about it. People have asked after, are you going to sit with Msholozi? You must sit with Msholozi. And I'm like, Fethu, if I get the opportunity, I'll gladly take it. My concern was just the dynamics of that time.
So we'll travel, probably.
So if it was, can you sit with Ubaba Msholozi in 2 days' time, in 3 days, we can plan and try and maneuver. The other thing is I'd need to speak to his team and be like, I can't have the type of interview that you guys want, unfortunately. Not out of disrespect. We could do it. We could do it just for the sake of, but I wouldn't be happy. What I want to do Zuma is 3 hours. If it means we film for an hour, hour and a half, and we cut, and we have lunch, and we rest, and then we come back, I need to, because Zuma is one of my heroes. So we can't play games. He's one of my heroes, personally. So I want to sit with him for 3 hours. I don't want to ask Padum Konto Sizwe, what do you think of the coalition? I don't want that.
No.
I will have wasted, it's like your one shot to hit the king. And in that one shot, I'm like, hey, so you don't like Cyril Ramaphosa? Hey, Baba. There's so much more to the man than that. And I'd want to literally go through fatherhood, Isthembu, being a Zulu boy, being in exile, Ututabombe, coming back, Kodesa, becoming president of the country as this Zulu boy who didn't pass Eskele. This thing of being a chess master, Duduzane and the Guptas, and Baba Kulega, just speak freely. The Sheikh, your relationship with the Sheikh family or Shapir, your relation when we are out under Mandia. Kulega, Baba. This is a safe space, and and if you feel tired, go nap. We'll wait. Uvuku fresh if we can visit him for 2 days and film bits and pieces, I'll take it. Because I've got this chance. And the last thing I want to do is waste it on a 2-hour interview on how Helen Zille and Cyril Ramaphosa and how the ANC is not what it used to be.
No, you can't.
No.
You can't.
So if they could allow me that would be great, which I maybe wouldn't fully get. But if they were to give me 3 hours, because nami nguyipantsula in my own ways, I try and make sure that in the 5, because it would probably be 5 questions about the thing they want to talk about MK, I hlohla another 15 questions in the middle there of some of his things to do with the things that I want. Uputu Ongama Mtimka came through. We spoke about politics. We were doing our political run here.
That was cool.
Waffigu Sizwe Ayanda Ali. That was pretty dope, bossa. She's now sitting at the Gauteng legislature for a bossa, It's so nice to see people like a before and after, to be like, say, we were there, part of the journey. I'll say the same, even though it was on dope conversations, because we'd run out of capacity here before elections. So I started sitting with politicians, Funzi Ngobeni of Action SA at dope conversations. I sat with Nobu Ntuhlazo Webster, dope conversations. Did I sit with anyone else? I might have. Don't remember. I was supposed to sit with Kenny Gnene.
Okay.
When Kenny got a chance to sit with me, it was too close to elections. And I was like, also, I don't know if I just want to speak to Kenny about politics.
Oh.
So I was like, no, can we please sit later? And I want him to bring him to the Penuel show. I hope he comes at some point, we'll see. But the story of Kenny and Gayton.
That's the story I want to
There are people that don't know that story. From jail to selling fish to printing books, traveling around the country and speaking, to bangena security, to bangena mine, to bavuliza, revonya on deck, basebenza nomsholozi. Next thing sebengena kwi politics like I Kenny kade good sushi. Nina push sushi ni.
Sushi king, baba. Hey, what that guy did.
No, there's a lekker story there. And the last thing you want is a 1-hour chat on the Patriotic Alliance and what to expect with the elections. So,
fuck off.
I enjoyed this sit down. This is one of my favorite South African politicians. Mkhuleko Hlengwa. The drawn out eulogy he gave of Mangosuthu Buthelezi. These are some of the stories that I think we miss. And the fact that he came and he gave him that dignity and that storytelling. We had a similar thing in the next week with General Bantu Olomisa and giving us a story of Nelson Mandela.
That was my favorite sit down of a politician.
Sure. Along with the coup. But this guy is
he's a master.
Bantu Olomisa, Mandela would introduce him as the dictator of the Transkei.
The Transkei,
Do you know Bantu? He's a dictator of the Transkei.
Yeah, this was my favorite one.
Hey, we sat for a while. 3 hours, close to 3 hours 10.
And he was checking out there in the sports circle, rugby. It's like, you're not bad, young man. You're not bad, sidestep and blah blah blah. All that language of yours.
We start off the chat with I'm nervous. Aibo. Ngcingboya yasazi story sakho man. Did you fit? Did you soldier? Jeez.
That was powerful. I think for me, man, out of all the politicians, I really respect him, man. Very honest. I know out of all of the politicians are not all honest,
And this was also like an archive exercise.
It was.
His daughter, his family were really grateful for the sit down.
He's probably one of the only ones that actually ran a Bantustan and went into democracy. He's probably who else actually?
I don't think there's anyone else.
There isn't. That ran an actual band, ran it.
And then
transitioned into 94. There isn't.
This was right close to the elections.
Yeah.
Xoli Mfeka, under the DA, came to sit with us. Okay, we did a couple of accounts. I asked him questions about the DA. He said if not the DA is leaving politics.
I wonder why he didn't get the mayor. I understand this.
What do you mean?
Not mayor, premier. This JNU thing. Why didn't it work for him to be premier?
So it probably had to do with the results. It's like Cyril and the country. Because the ANC got more votes. They have a higher percentage in Gauteng than the DA. So when they come into coalition, it's like, you can't be. Maybe you can have an important MEC role,
finance and all of those things,
but not necessarily.
Someone made a comment, what to go KZN? And yet DA took finance and public works. Someone is like, hey, Mam Kiz in trouble.
I saw a picture of Mam Kiz. Yeah, fear.
Hey, I was dead. But anyway, yeah.
If you're not emotionally involved in this country, if you're not emotionally involved in politics, it's very exciting to watch.
Yeah.
It's very entertaining.
No,
but for people like me, it triggers me a lot because of where we come from, where we are, and what meant to be happening in this country.
Oh, for sure.
Lauren Bernardo, I remember commenting this to you guys off camera. First white lady. First white lady and only to date white lady we've had on the Penuel show.
Penuel, come on, man. You know a lot of white people.
I must step it up.
Yeah.
No, I'll tell you, look, I've had a lot of concern with black women coming here. Because they'll tell me in confidence, Penuel, yeah. When I put the questions you ask. So I appreciate some of the ones that I've had. Black women.
Get you.
Then there've been white people. I think it's easy. I just haven't said to them as much. About David Ansara and about Rob herself. I would like to sit with more. But I hadn't had white women. There was one white woman that was meant to come here. And at the time, I think she was dealing with court cases. I wanted to profile her because she's a fascinating mind. Melanie Falloon. She's on Real Housewives of Pretoria. Tammy Taylor.
Oh, no, Cat Blanche.
What.
Yeah.
So she was dealing with court cases there. But, if you hear her story and how her brain works, hey, she's amazing.
I'm late.
So
Helen Ziller, white woman.
So
if we hit a Cape Town trip, we can do 2 people.
Yeah, it would depend on how I want to spin it because I don't want to do politics.
No,
anymore.
not that.
No, I hear you.
Yeah.
I hear you. I don't want to do politics
Just
anymore.
her, man.
Jobangish, I need to come up with an angle. I don't think I'm fascinated by the Helen Ziller story as much as other people.
Okay.
So there's a chance that I'd have to read up because I know she's highly respected. So I'd have to probably read up on her story.
Yeah.
And then be like, hey, actually, I want to ask about this. This. I don't even know if she's married. Yeah, but those could be some of the conversations I'd want to raise. Manjin daughter and what? How do you feel about things like, the things you guys hear, interracial relationships
those things
and what?
That's what I'm interested in with people like her, man.
Yeah, well.
Forget the politics.
And then to hear her stories on Musi, Herman, her views, just to hear. She can try and spin politically, but I just want to hear. Yeah, but KONVO has got a lot of respect in politics. And even now, Hey, the way she's maneuvering. Where she's.
Shem, but yeah, anyway, Shem.
The last episode, which was meant to be Umsholozi, but the timing never worked, and they only came. I was meant to sit with them, let's say, a week before, but then they'd ask us a few days before elections.
Yeah.
But luckily, we pre-recorded this, the election special. My views on elections, where we came from as a country, some of the major what's.
Let me ask this on camera. Why did you start doing this? Because today was your second one, yeah?
That I filmed earlier.
Yeah, today's where you're one man and you're hitting in camera. Why?
So this, I was like, this is our last episode before the elections.
Mm-hmm.
I almost don't want to give any special politician that episode. And if we don't get Umsholos, let me at least do a special. As, you know, special edition. Yeah, look and feel, but this is like the Penuel Show originals.
Yeah, sure.
And after doing this, I was like, because I do one-man videos on my phone at home. This is nice, and it also becomes a way to document. Because one of the people I admire is Andrew Huberman. Andrew Huberman, but we tell her 2 hours, 3 hours, one man. Mm-hmm. Going technical about neuroscience, dopamine, caffeine, I've fantasized about that because outside of interviewing guests, I know people like hearing my thoughts.
Okay, cool.
By myself. If anything, if we had capacity, I'd shoot with the guest. Maybe the guest would leave. And then after like an hour, I'd shoot by myself and 30 minutes maybe. 30 minutes, 45 minutes to be like, these are some of the things I thought, what. And the episode drops and then later in the week, my review or whatever.
Sharp.
I'm just saying. The episode, I can speak about the episode that's coming.
Yeah.
So the episode that I'm doing, I don't know if it's going to be a series. I hope not, but you never know. There are certain topics. No, it might be a series because I've been speaking about CODESA 2.0 a lot. And in the absence of us sitting down and having CODESA,
sure,
I can start introducing some of these things by myself.
Oh, okay.
So this one is going to be on land.
Yeah,
the land conversation.
Yeah.
Another one could be on energy. What I think of energy, electricity, what. Another one could be on our economy and how it's set up and what we should be doing. Another one could be on education. And in that, people can engage. People can approach me. People can use it as intel to, because some of our podcast stuff gets used in discussions at schools, at tertiary level, etc.
Okay.
So
makes sense.
Last 2-3 episodes. 3. I'm going to call them all together. Dr. Chaba Mape, architecture.
One of Q's favorite names.
Dr. Chaba.
Yeah, he loves it.
I was Chaba Mfethu was a boss. Chaba Mape, Clifton Marco. Bubesi, and then Lisiho Modise.
Yeah.
When
did we shoot Lisiho Mfethu? How's it last year?
It was in February.
Yo.
It was in February.
Hey.
No, Chaba, we shot him, I think, also in February. It was a long time ago.
What did Lisiho sell to a brand? They sold something that made them big.
Lisiho? You can't speak about it.
No, he speaks about it here.
He doesn't. He spoke about it off camera.
Okay.
He said, no.
Q bleep Sizwe. I don't know if we heard him there.
So I don't know about confidentiality, but all he told us was it was a deal they did with a bank.
About it. Sorry.
He said it was a deal they did with the bank and they got a payout.
Q, please bleep Sizwe's voice when he says that thing.
Sure.
Q, please. Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry.
It's fine.
Yeah.
So, what did I want to say? Sorry. When this episode drops, hopefully, if we messed it up, then it's But yeah, the episode before this will have been Abba. Amlak. Abaleo.
Yeah.
Unpopular opinion. That's where, Baba, we're going. And there's some guests that I'm still bringing in the future that are going to be very exciting. Because there are certain conversations I realize that are the ones that, number one, you're introducing concepts to people and you're shaking people's minds and you're opening up something else.
Abba's going to kill. Trust.
You reckon?
Yeah.
We'll see.
No,
so we're filming
seeing the patterns though.
We're filming this
A week before.
We're filming this after dropping episode 98. So after episode 98, Ulesigo, we filmed this, and then next week, Abba's dropping. So this episode that you're watching now will have dropped after Abba, and this guy claims that Abba's episode, which you will have watched last week,
it's gonna be
dope. There's 2 guests I'm thinking off the top of my head that I'm bringing. Yeah, it's gonna be a fun time.
No, we're ready.
There's something I failed this year. I've got 6 months to fix, so we'll see. And maybe we'll reconvene towards the end of the year.
Sure.
There's a vision. I have a mental vision board of what I wanted for the Penuel show this year. I'll tell you, Orania, I think is something I can tick off because it means we traveled.
Nice.
And we did something completely out. I mean, we can speak about all the podcasts in this country. All of them. There are certain things that we do that they can't claim.
Sure.
And that becomes one of them. It's like I say, where, Omek G are doing a podcast tour. That's unique. And I think they're going to America. That's unique. That's like, no one is doing this except for us. So things like Orania, it's like, hey. I didn't see this coming. Hey, I didn't, yeah.
No.
So the Agenda Network was dope. Yeah, there's people that come with dope things and not somewhere.
It'd be nice to do one outside the country, man.
No, we have to.
Just closing Yana, man.
We have to.
Just closing Yana. Yeah, hey, man.
Anyways,
we spoke.
100 episodes. Any thoughts?
No, to 500, man.
500 what?
To 500 apps, mate. We'll speak after.
Yeah, let's work.
We need more. We need more apps. But it's hard, eh? Yeah, I think I'm seeing. It's hard, this thing.
The work?
You're shy, but it's rewarding, man.
Guys, again, we appreciate you guys very much. I know sometimes you come up with these ideas and they don't really happen. One of them that I think we need to bookmark, and I hope I'll raise more often, is we need to create a platform, maybe a WhatsApp group with some of our loyal supporters to see how you guys can help us build a network outside of what we're doing to be able to achieve some of the things that we can't. Let's say, for example, we want to interview people around Amakasi, and you're like, no, I can do it for you guys in my kasi and send you guys the content or whatever, or certain trips or certain gatherings, and you guys can become part of the network. And in being part of that network, getting people that will help us with fundraising, editing, people that are going to manage our merchandise. I mean, merchandise is something that Clifton wants to help us with, but we're going to need people to run with it, and other things. This is part of my vision board. Let me keep it to myself. But there's 2 important things that I wanted to do this year, and I must try and remember.
Okay.
If I can, even if I do 1 episode of each, I'll be like, at least I experimented.
Sweet.
Yeah.
We need to go shoot upstairs, man.
Anyways.
The one way by yourself, I'm coming here on camera. We need to shoot. Pen, we can't have these studios like Pezul if Pen is not the one that does that intros them. No.
You can have a guest, I guess.
Yeah, but he needs to be the one that, We can try the next one.
Mina break my virginity my studio.
You have the next one. Imagine it.
Let me give a quick shout out to our top most viewed episodes. Dr. Uma Johnson, 1.1 million views. Vusi Tembegwayo, 1.1 million views. Joshua Maponga, 554,000. Xoli Mfeka, 467,000. Mbuso Khoza, 419,000. Duduzane Zuma, 413,000. Gaten McKenzie, 338,000. Rutendo Matinyarare, 308. Rutendo, 293. Mpho Dagada, 283. Sandile Shezi, 273. Rob Hersoff, 269. Aikumali, 253. Ernst Van Zyl, 245. US Straydom, 228. We can keep going. Musi Maimani, Waras, Ike, Rutendo, Nhlanhla Lux. Yeah, anyways, man, thank you so much to our guests. Without you guys, we don't really have a show. Unless I'm hitting by myself. But yeah, we don't have a show, man. So we appreciate you guys.
Thank you.
Let's shut it down. We're out.